And boom, what's up everybody? Thanks for turning out on Saturday night. You could be anywhere in the world, but you want to be here with me. I have no idea why. What is this? The fourth time in a row, fourth weekend in a row we're going to be doing this stuff, and actually got some shit planned this time around. It's not going to be a total catastrophe. I'm just happy anybody turns out. We got some people over on Rumble. We got some people over on YouTube. Wherever you guys want to go, that is totally fine with me. But a big update, if you're unaware, if you kind of use Rumble, but you've ever been put off by its app or anything, they've done a... when was that, Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that? They dropped a huge update on their app right there. Like, you can chat now on the Android side of it. Okay, so I'll be bouncing hopefully between the two different streams, you know, in the different chats right there as more people start to engage with it. But first and foremost, okay, if anybody clicked on the thumbnail, do you know who I picked for the thumbnail right here? Okay, do you know specifically? We can go, because what do I got? I got this shit pulled up right here. So, you know who that chick is right there? Okay, that chick look familiar? Well, it should, because it's Courtney Taylor. Now, who's Courtney Taylor? Well, her name's Courtney Clenny, and she's going to be going to trial very, very shortly. I haven't seen a date or anything on there for that, but she's the chick who decided to kill her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli. Well, she said that she threw the knife at him, and by threw, well, you know, she claims in interrogation videos that she did this with the knife, you know, with a flick of the wrist. She managed to put a bread knife about 3 inches into his clavicle, ended up killing him. And then instead of, and I can't wait for this to go to trial because I'm going to be covering it in fucking detail, but she claimed, the first thing that she did, she didn't call 911. No. That guy can just, you know, wander around the apartment and fucking bleed out. Don't worry about him. He's totally fine. Yeah, no. She's going to call her mom first for 13 minutes and then call 911. Her inaction led to his death. And you know what? His inability to discern that relationship for being as shit as it totally was, being distracted by the titties. Okay, let's be completely honest. My guy right here was thinking that he was going to be getting something sweet right there, but realizing that everybody else was getting something sweet for what? $5.99 a month. Okay, like, this bitch was out there. She is community property, and if he even had an inkling, just a little bit of RP awareness, he would have known that she's for the streets, pump and dump exclusively, 100% recreational use only. He wouldn't have got tangled up with him, or with her rather. That's definitely a biological woman. We've seen the pictures. But he would have categorized her appropriately, and he would still be alive today. And, well, we'll have to find another trial to cover first and foremost. But normally I like to start with an article. And I do have an article, of course, but this video's been making the rounds on the internet today, and I haven't watched it. It's only 8 seconds long, and for everybody who's in here first and foremost, I think we deserve a little bit of a treat. Well, hopefully you've already had dinner and, you know, anything's not going to pop up. But I've seen this quote tweeted a whole bunch of different times by a bunch of different people that's out there. I'd imagine it's going to be pretty pathetic and pretty terrible. So for all of you early starts right here, we got a treat, I guess, before we get into the It's Complicated stuff. Let's see what the fuck we're dealing with here.
Do you ever get dressed and just be like, damn, I look good?
Do you ever, okay, when you're thrift shopping at a closed down movie theater and you ever get a good deal on one of the screens and you ever feel great? Okay.
I did today.
Yo, what the fuck? Okay, first of all, okay, where's the mirror that you can get in order to get a full look to make sure that your appearance is on fleek? It took me a couple of extra seconds, you know, to get the stream started. You guys had the lovely little pause screen there for a second, mostly because I needed to get ready for the stream. Now, I don't think that I look all that spectacular, and I didn't put a whole hell of a lot of effort into it, but I don't have the delusion to go on TikTok to say, you know, someday you just look good, and then waddle back and realize that you can play the Titanic on your fucking torso. Holy son. That's fucking atrocious, but Jesus fucking Christ, man. So, Like I said, we got an article here to begin with, and we'll let people trickle in. We'll probably get started with the videos. If you want to come back, get yourself a drink or anything like that. But this is an article, obviously, right? No, but this is a story that I would love to cover. I would love to cover this on the channel, but there's no way in fuck this is getting monetized, okay? So I'm just gonna spin it into this because it's another one of these Me Too accusations, and it fits with the theme of the stream that we're going to be doing here. So yeah, if you just want to come back to this later, totally fine with that. Okay, we'll probably get, like I said, started at the bottom of the hour, but this serves as a bit of an appetizer because you might remember Andy Ruiz, right? He was the little fat kid who jumped in at what was it? Yeah, short notice. He took the fight against Anthony Joshua, who was heavyweight champion, WBF, I think. Like, he had a couple of different titles at the time. Anthony Ruiz filled in for, was it Tyson Fury or something like that, and then upset him. And yeah, he's just kind of a schlumpy-looking dude. Okay, it was absolutely ridiculous odds. And hey, man, fantastic for him. He won the belt. And now all of a sudden, you can tell by the headline, it's pretty fucking spicy for him. Okay, and it's doesn't look too dissimilar to what's going on with Jonathan Majors right now. Something that I have a bit of a bone to pick with just about everybody that's out there right now, but that's neither here nor there. If you want more on that story, you can go peek that video from, I think that came out yesterday. Can't quite keep everything straight. Did a lot of tranny stuff here earlier today, and hopefully that won't permeate too much over here because I think that's pretty well covered. Anyways, former heavyweight boxing champion Andy Ruiz accused of raping and abusing ex-girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend, huh? Was this after the fact, or was this during the relationship and realizing that, yeah, there's a good chance that he's never going to get that fucking strap back and might as well just try to run his pockets one final time? It's kind of what I'm thinking here, but let's see. Okay, former heavyweight boxing champion Andy Ruiz is accused of raping and abusing his ex-girlfriend. Ruiz's ex, Julia Lemus, is granted a temporary domestic violence restraining order after allegedly that the 33-year-old Ruiz sexually, physically, and psychologically abused me. I'd imagine the psychological disclaimer is doing a lot of heavy lifting, making me feel like I had to walk on eggshells around him. Yeah, ta-da, right there. You know what? Realizing that he's not quite hitting quite like that anymore. The last ditch effort. Listen, there's something that I want to do, and I got a whole bunch of different topics that I'm looking at to do for the Rumble exclusive stream tomorrow. One day, very, very soon, I want to find a good documentary revolving around Mike Tyson, and I want to figure out if any of those rape charges, if there was actual evidence to back that shit up, because I've heard different things throughout the years that maybe Mike was kind of he was sent down a river just because a simp judge and a fucking overzealous prosecutor and a lying bitch trying to get one final fucking payday ended up snaking out the baddest man alive. That's just what I've heard, and like I said, I want to find that out, and that one's going to be exclusively on Rumble, I will imagine. But let's see what we have here one more time. Lemus, 26, filed a restraining order in San Diego on April 6th. Okay, and we're just hearing about this 2 weeks later. Okay, and accused Ruiz of physically and emotional damage of their 2 children as well. Oh, so she's breaking up the family, trying to get custody. Yeah, it'll make sense, according to the report. On top of that, Lemus accused Ruiz of abusing alcohol and drugs. Yep, realizing that the safety was no longer going to be there, it's like, okay, I might as well just get one final payday and get the fuck out of here. Secure the child support, secure the alimony. We'll just call it a day. I don't know if they were just an ex-girlfriend. I don't know. I don't think California has common law. Okay, it's interesting. She'll at least get child support, and he's a former boxer, so yeah, it would be a pretty nice check to get. On top of that, Lemus accused Ruiz of abusing alcohol and drugs, which they caused the fear for the life and safety and the lives and the safety of my children. His children as well. Don't fucking forget it. Now, Lemus also accuses Ruiz pointed an AK-47 at her face, and oh my god, again, like, horrific if true, but color me just a little bit. I'm not buying it. after she expressed she was uncomfortable with Ruiz purchasing several guns and attempted to show them to her. He probably was like, here, yo, check a look at this AK-47. It's pretty sweet. And they're like, oh my god, he pointed it at my face. Fucking bitch. Okay, Ruiz and Lemus were together for 7 years, between 15 and 22. Louise, an Imperial California native, denied the allegations and claimed he's actually the victim. The report added, but you don't get to that until halfway through the article. Owning a 35-2 record, Ruiz notably stunned Anthony Joshua by TKO at Madison Square Garden in 2019. I remember that oh so well, and I don't even like boxing like that. To win the WBA, IBF, WBO Unified World Heavyweight titles in one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. I thought it was also late notice shit as well, but yeah, as you can see, when he's doing good, guess what? She's right there, but hypergamy doesn't care. You're not on top anymore. She's what, 26 years old? Fantastic. You're just a schlubby up and comer. You get that Rocky moment up there at the top, and then your Adrian realizes that, oh fuck, I don't want to hang around for the lows of Rocky 5, so I'm just gonna fucking skedaddle before we gotta go to Russia. Anyways, marked the first loss of Joshua's career, dramatically halted his rapid ascension. Joshua somewhat redeemed himself 6 months later. Yeah, but the damage has already been done. You've been punked by a fucking burrito roller. It's like, sucks to suck, I guess. But then, yeah, okay, so now you're gonna have a single mom out there on the market, trying to glove hop to and fro. Yeah, I don't fucking think so, my guy. Okay. He began grabbing my upper arms and physically yanking me in order to move me wherever he wanted me to go. So he was grabbing your upper arms, he wasn't fucking, just, laying it in like that. But no, he was just restraining me after I was getting fucking spastic, which she probably won't allege in the report, of course. But no, I'll just fill in the blanks, of course. Around February of 2023, Lemus claims Ruiz began forcing himself on her sexually and assaulting her on at least 6 occasions. So, okay, said that they were together in 2023. How would he do that? How would he do that afterwards? It sounds like you're a willing combatant, and then all of a sudden, oh no, I retract consent. Interesting. Did he not get those bookings afterwards? But yeah, no, you looked all too happy there to begin with. And yep, especially when he got to, the little parade, you could ride around the rolls. Everything was great and fantastic. The restraining order granted Lumis sole custody of the 2 children, at least until their court hearing. Ta-da! Exactly. It's never, ever, ever anything that is going to be virtuous or I'm just trying to keep the kids safe. Nope. I get the kids now, and you, now you just get anguish, and I can just go out here and fucking 304 for the rest of my days. Unfucking believable. It's about to be hot girl summer for a 26-year-old single mother of 2. And now she has a good sob story to tell everybody. Oh my god, I was abused by a former boxer. Oh, well, what did he do? He goon-handed me and moved me when I was being obnoxious, and he forced himself on me. Really? Ruiz categorically denies that he had ever abused Julia Lemus or his children. Yeah, his children. At least they fired back appropriately. He additionally accuses Lemus of being the one who was violent in the relationship. Well, are you... a Mexican chick from Southern California being abusive? What? No, you're making that stuff up. Come on. Among his accusations against Lemus, Ruiz claims she stabbed him with a knife in 2020. Yo, I just thought that this would be just a nice way and a good thumbnail fodder, but yo, we got shit to back this stuff up. Holy. And to draw it together, holy. Okay, so later that year, hit one of his friends with a loaded gun while screaming and slapped, punched, and grabbed him on multiple occasions. Sorry, what? Are you saying a restraining order is somehow, on the female's part, it's somehow projection? Huh. I kind of went through something like this about a year ago. Interesting how the world doesn't learn at all. Ruiz also claims that Lemus stole $250,000 worth of jewelry from him recently and that he filed a police report for it. Oh, not once did I ever engage in physical response to Julia's assault, Ruiz said in court documents. That is fucking wild. What a crazy situation. I'm going to be anticipating to seeing how that develops from there. But like I said, man, bottom of the hour, I think it's about that time to start doing some video reactions. I'm just going to take a look through the chat, seeing what you guys are on about. But like I said here, we got a whole bunch of good ones. I'll just go ahead and put that stuff in theater mode right there so we know. Because, yeah, we're going to be looking at, there's a two-part series from It's Complicated, Simping and the Manosphere, Rules of Modern Dating and Understanding Women. It's Complicated. The first one's 16 minutes. The second one, I think, is 29 minutes. I think they're both going to be worth our time. I haven't watched any of this stuff, but It's Complicated. You know, he does the best street interviews, and it's not even close. He has the most thought-provoking questions that's out there. And now if he's going to be moving on from just as like, hey, take a look at how dumb these bitches are. And if we got some time at the end, I got some... he just put out, I think, earlier today, another one of those videos. So we can take a look at that at the end if we've got some time remaining. But like I said, I need a drink of water. I've been fucking nattering for how long at this point in time? Your boy's a little thirsty, and I'll peruse the chat here. So talk amongst yourselves for a minute, okay? Just seeing what we got over here. So yeah, we got some folks trickling over on a Rumble as well. Shout out to you guys. Oh, holy fuck, yeah, we got a good turnout over here on Rumble as well, or on YouTube as well. Yo, so yeah, what's good, guys? Yeah, we got Brian back. Hey, Brian, what's up, man? How you guys doing? Fantastic. Good stuff over here. Cool. Right on. No, I appreciate you guys turning out here for, you know, Saturday. I like the Saturday streams. I think that they're a hell of a lot of fun, and I think it's a good time slot. That's 6 o'clock. I got real close to being, you know, directly on time, but no, who fucking cares? Either, you know, here or there, you know, we're close enough when it's all said and done, right? And plus, also, thanks to the advent of DVR on Rumble and on YouTube, you know, hey, if you missed anything, you can just go back to the start and play it at ×2 speed. But as for watching the videos here in full, I don't know, unless they're really laborious to get through, we'll probably just watch them at full speed, because I was listening to something earlier today, and they made a very good point. I can't quite remember what video it was. It was either EFAP podcast, or it was something. It might have been EFAP, actually, saying that, yeah, some people who like to run stuff back, you know, if they watch on 2x speed and you got... or watching a video, or somebody's watching a video at 2x speed, or even just $1.25, $1.50 speed, it just becomes, it's just a multiplier on top of that. So, you know, for the sake of this stuff is staying up, and this is probably one of those evergreen topics where guys can go back and reference what we're watching here today in the additional context provided to make this transformative content. But of course, you know, shout out to It's Complicated for providing the source material. But hey, I don't want to make it an unpleasurable experience into the future as well. So first and foremost, what we have, yes, Simping and the Manosphere. I don't know. Are they just talking to street people, just wondering? It's like, what do you think of the Manosphere? Okay, what's your take on RP? Or what's your take on the red pill? Well, we kind of know what the common parlance is that's out there. Okay, and watching this back when it first went down. Okay, this is something that I reference quite a bit, and it's what people think of when they think of RP, when they think of the red pill, what they think. They just think that it's guys that either hate women outright, or it's just simply a way to pick up chicks. And it couldn't be anything further than the truth. But I think this is a pretty good encapsulation. And this is one of, you know, Dunstudy's fucking, you know, disciples, okay? I forget her name. It's not even all that important. But she lays it out, and this is what I think. This is what I think the common person thinks whenever they hear, oh, those internet red pill content creators. Oh, this is just what they think of women, and it's like, it couldn't be further from the truth, man. It really couldn't be.
To my next point, which is like the reason why I think the red pill is so negative towards men is because they're valuing the value of a man based on how much fucking sex he can get. Right? And I think the value of a man should not be reliant on how many women are thirsting over his dick.
So let me ask you a question.
It's oh my God, it's just, it's not, okay? And they think that that's all it is, okay? It's so much more than that. And really, when it comes to it, okay, like I've understood and I've thought about these ideas since 2014, October of 2014, when I first heard Patrice O'Neill. Sorry, the old iPod's over there somewhere. That's where I pointed to, okay? So, oh, excuse me. Yeah, no, I've been thinking about that stuff ever since, I first heard Patrice O'Neill, and then coupled that with, the Black Phillip show as well, listening to that stuff. It's like, wow, okay, all kind of makes sense, okay? Because, I was pretty good with the ladies, and then at the time, it's like if anything started to fuck up, I would wonder, the fuck am I actually doing that's wrong here, okay? Like, everything's good on the front end, and then, that eventually, just starts to fall by the wayside. Long and short of it is, I'm not, at least back in the cut, I wasn't maintaining proper frame. I was eventually trying to transition into something that I thought women would want, is start out with that strong, solid, Dawn frame that you guys know and appreciate maybe from the videos that are out there, and then I'd eventually start to become, just need to take care of her. Oh God, I got some fucking atrocious stories from back in the cup, but this isn't about me right now. We're talking about what the common person thinks out there. So if you think that, okay, most guys come to the red pill. Most guys come to understanding Manosphere content creators when they're at a low point. Okay, when a chick leaves them, when their marriage falls apart. Just whenever they're in need of help for some very common problems that are out there. And yeah, it might just start as a way to better understand women, but once you start to understand that the red pill or Manosphere content creators are just simple, I can't speak for most of them. Like, I've got a very short list when it comes to guys that I find credible and respectable in the sphere. I've made mention of them before, Rolo, John, Modern Life Dating, Tate, and Myron, I think, is far and away the best. Right now, I think he's refined his game to a point where there's nobody that's even close. Rolo as an author, fantastic. Rolo in a live stream spends about 60% of the time bickering with this chat, and it just becomes unfucking listenable. Every once in a while he gets it right, but Rolo as an author, fantastic, foundational shit, okay? I've only read the first 4 Rational Male books, still need to get the 5th one. And John right now, Money Muscles Game Frame, that really is what the red pill is all about. Money, muscles, game frame. All 4 quadrants of being a complete man in today's day and age. Now, again, John, when it comes to thoughts, is a lot different than John when it comes to live streaming. He's kind of going through this arc where he's reconciling his midlife crisis. It's a bit fucking weird and it's a little bit intolerable right now, but fantastic mind when it comes to this. And Tate is still legal problem, so he's not much for advice right now. And Myron, like I said, totally the fucking G. But I think I got the ground rules out of the way, and yeah, we can pretty much go into the first of 2, maybe 3 videos here. So let's see what we got. And also let me know if the sound is good. Everything looks fine so far, so.
Have you ever heard of the Manosphere?
I don't know what the Manosphere is.
Have you ever?
It sounds like a gay nightclub. I'll be completely honest. It's fucking terrible branding, but it's a holdover from like really early on. I don't know if it predates the men's rights movement, but that ended up getting sufficiently demonized, even though that's a far better name for it. It just ended up getting tarred and feathered as just the male equivalent of feminism, and it's just a bunch of guys that complain. Mostly because the largest voice in the sphere, or in the space, was probably Cassie J when she put out that the Red Pill documentary, and it's like, wow, a feminist that crosses the line, becomes the biggest voice, and that's why gatekeeping women, or at least keeping them at arm's length away, realizing that, they can have some good points that are out there, looking specifically at the likes of Pearl and a couple of other ones. That's nice if you want to talk on those topics. You're just not going to be an authority, because it just, ends up devolving into, just letting in unsavory characters. And hey, man, you could see recently with what happened with Pearl and Nick Fuentes for proof of concept on that one.
You ever heard of Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
It's an alternate view on relationships, kind of favoring the man's role in society right now and lawfully.
The Manosphere is defined as a collection of websites, blogs, and online forums promoting masculinity, misogyny, in opposition to feminism.
Misogyny, promoting misogyny. Now that's obviously not
Okay, well that's what the Wikipedia definition I guess is.
Yeah, shout out to that guy for actually piecing that out. Okay, I'm seeing some guy. Yeah, you guys are starting to roll in on this one, and it looks like I'm gonna have to put out probably a community post here for a second. So, yeah, I'll let this roll, and if I miss anything, don't hold it against me.
It's a little biased,
Yeah,
probably.
okay. Well, it's Wikipedia. What do you think of all the different Manosphere channels and the similarities and differences between their messages?
It's interesting because there's so many different grifters that are in the sphere. Like, there's even some old holdovers, okay? Like, the central issues, most of them get it right, but then there's a lot of fly-by-nighters that think that there's a lot of money in the space, and they want to come in, they start to hawk and shill their courses and shit like that, and it's like, okay, cool, you're just trying to get a quick bag off of some guys that actually need some help. So while there's some good information that you can pretty much piece around from everybody, you know, I don't know, because the media sphere's pretty fucking bad when it comes to just absolute grifters that just, you know, take a headline and print out a 5-minute long video and then just, you know, get cheap AdSense off of that. But you see a lot of bitched up behavior, especially between chats, between, you know, different communities, okay? I see a meme that was in here earlier. Yeah, it's like, you can definitely, you see that a lot.
So far in the Manosphere, I may have maybe like 3 different channels that I know of. One is Fresh and Fit. One was Kevin Samuels, and another one, it's a bald-headed white guy. He has like a salt and peppery beard, you know. So they talk about different things.
Oh, Rich Cooper. Yeah, it's got to be Rich Cooper.
Kevin Samuels was very provocative. It seemed like he was a shock jock, and he wanted to get the conversation started. It seemed like he didn't believe some of the stuff he would say. He would just say it to be provocative, to get men and women talking about it, because it's important to have these conversations.
I think that some people are intentionally antagonistic in that space in order to promote a message and promote themselves, and that's understandable. I wouldn't find it that interesting for that aspect of it.
The Manosphere, when it comes to Fresh and Fit, those guys have some point of views that are legit. Also, some of the point of views, they're not really so legit to me.
Well, think about this. Length or girth? No, like I said, that's why I differentiate. It's like, I don't find anything terribly wrong with what what Fresh says, but I don't think it's even that controversial. I think Fresh is kind of lazy, but he does provide extreme value. I don't think those people that are out there that say that, oh, Fresh is just a complete L, I don't think that they understand the show in general, but, you know, Fresh kind of has he likes to hurry along a show when it doesn't need to be, because I need to go network and go hang out at the club. I'm a man of God.
Like one of the guys said, you should, you know, be with at least 50 women before you settle down.
Oh, we talked about that one before. That's criteria to get married. So you better understand female nature that's out there, so you don't get blindsided by a chick who's just trying to hide the shovel for a second, and it's like, just try to secure the bag, kind of like our friend that's over here right now, or, you know, our dead friend that's over here. Just saying.
That seems a bit excessive, you know. So
it's just a marker, and realistically, the way that chicks are popping pussy right now, it's not that fucking hard.
That's not really, you know, something I vibe with. But just with anything, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, and you agree with people when they're right, and also when they're wrong, you kind of separate. So we have to be. I think that we're an intelligent society, and we can listen to different people, different personalities, and pick what's good from the bad and separate it. You know.
Well, that's the thing. I think that people that are criticizing it are going to be painting it with a very broad brush.
Yo, George, you said fucking Jack. Oh my God, that shit was funny as fuck. Oh my God.
And so, you know, even with it, like, let's take Andrew Tate, for instance, right?
Do you think Andrew Tate is helping or hurting men, and why?
I think he's helping men because he motivates us to be better and motivates us to want more out of our lives.
He's helping men, you feel me, be more in touch with their masculinity, but he's also, you know, like he does have some misogynistic traits, and
there are some good points that I think that he boosts confidence in young men, but he can damage some that misinterpreted what he says.
I just want to know specifically, right, as somebody who has consumed a fair amount of Andrew Tate content, what exactly is misogynistic? Okay, or are these just guys who, you know, oh, I don't know, some chick out there might see this, and I don't want to compromise the box.
Although he has some opinions that are against women, I feel like
what? But I'm sorry, I cut him off. He's about to tell us what he feels like.
The majority of what he says is good for men, and I feel like men should listen to what he's saying.
Obviously, he's been arrested in Romania on some,
preventatively detained, no charges. Still, even though I think yesterday or the day before, he ended up going to back to court and another 30 days of house arrest. But still, house arrest. It's moving along appropriately. So that'll put it to May. So at worst, one more extension before, the Romanian officials got to shit or get off the pot. I would have done an update on any of that stuff. It's just not really that much to update. Okay, the boys are just home and they're allowed to do as much as they can until the investigation is over. Okay, I guess that's an update.
Serious charges, right? But you could take individual things that he says and, 85% of the people that you might ask might agree with those things.
Outside of just the more purposefully inflammatory comments, most sensible, reasonable people, which is still the vast majority of people, like we like to point out the extremes on both sides, point out the extremes, but I mean, come on, what Tate says is realistically just standard conventional shit for society. Okay, men are better drivers than women in general. Think about it when you were growing up. Your father, if you were lucky enough to come from a complete family, your father was more than likely going to be driving. Whenever you're out in public, just your anecdotal experiences. Okay, like I still see every once in a while, check this, it's fucking April of 2023, and I still see some dumb motherfuckers driving around by themselves wearing a mask. I'll let you guess, a 50-50 shot as to what sex is driving by themselves in a little scraped up Honda. I don't know. Really need a master's degree in order to figure some shit out.
They might not agree with, whatever he might have done to get charged with criminal charges, but that doesn't mean that, you should throw out necessarily the whole message.
Which is more important, their message or their lifestyle?
Their message.
Oh, the message for sure.
There we go.
The message.
The more important thing socially is the message, but the thing that might sell it is the lifestyle.
I don't know, because I believe, Pearly Things, have you heard of them? Pearly Things, her?
Yeah, she's a total ripoff. Oh, who said that?
Her channel, she doesn't practice anything she preaches.
Yo, based alert. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's got the Officer Chad right there, or Officer Tyrone in his case, or Coolio.
Can you be more specific?
She always says that men don't want a career-oriented woman or a person that talks strong and, a masculine, career-oriented and all that. I don't know. She just I don't know. She tells other women how to be when she's...
Just say it, dude. She is a fucking grifter. Like she says, she's an entertainer, and I think that she definitely knows her talking points. It's just they're kind of just that. It's the same way, okay? This is gonna sound completely wild, but it's the same way with the music. The hard rock band Queen. Okay, you guys know Queen, Freddie Mercury, Brian May, Roger Taylor, John Deacon, all those guys. If they would have, shout out to Razor Fist for this one. If they could have made money making polka, all of those motherfuckers would have been up there in fucking Lederhosen playing a fucking accordion, okay? They didn't give a fuck. They played the music that packed the stadiums. Same with just Pearly Things, man, okay? They just say the things that make them popular. She went from absolutely nothing to over 1 million subscribers in less than a year. F&F had to fucking grind, okay? They had to go through the shit. Some of it self-inflicted, okay? As somebody who became aware of their content and gave it a shot about this time last year. A little bit before that, about the end of March. Yeah. Realizing that, some of their shit was a bit fucked up. Some of their shit was a bit overblown. But realistically, it took them just a cunt hair short of 2 years in order to get to 1 million. But Pearl, because girls play the internet on fucking easy mode, well, also realized what worked over at everybody else's channel and implemented their implemented their questions and sound effects and presentation, entire style.
He's being
of the show.
the opposite of what she's telling him to be.
Yeah.
Do you watch their content more for the educational value or for the entertainment value?
Yeah, for the education. I like the educational value of it. And then sometimes it's very entertaining. Just like your channel, man. I love your channel. You be lighting their asses up.
How much of what is being said is new information?
Like 60%.
Yeah, 60%.
Yo, those guys are, yeah, I think they've probably been RP overdosing, that's for true. But yeah, a lot of it is also very rudimentary, and then when you hear it, okay, you might have to hear it a couple of different times for it to eventually start to connect the dots, but at least that's the way that it was for me. Like, some of it's just completely brand new because, you know, you go and test the waters to see what the kids today are talking about, and it's, wow. Like, okay, this is one incredible thing, and I'm so glad that FNF pointed this out. It's like, whenever anybody says what I feel like, and then merch right after that, of course, it's like, I didn't realize this until I went and listened to, you know, a lot of people that are just, I guess, from Gen Z. God, they preface everything with I feel like. It's not something that, you know, I've ever really been cognizant of, and something that I don't use all that often because I kind of just naturally speak in the more active tone. But everybody else who doesn't want to come out forward with their ideas, mostly because they've been raised in a completely politically correct world, so they need to constantly mediate their actual positions. So yeah, Manosphere, Red Pill, whatever the fuck you want to call it, talking points and ideas that are out there. Well, yeah, no. It might not be new, but if it creates a new connection in your head between two ideas that you've been thinking about, well, it's done its point. It's done its job.
None of it. There's nothing new under the sun, as they say. So, but there's a lot of it that is new to a lot of people, a lot of young men, for instance.
Younger people, it's new information. Older people, it's been here, but the way it's being presented is new.
You know, like we've been taught, kind of raised that girls with sugar spice everything nice, guys with snakes, snails, and puppy dog tails. But it turns out that
I haven't heard that one before. Holy shit.
A lot of these women are not sugar and spice, you know, and a lot of men have found that out, you know, the hard way and had a rude awakening with some really unscrupulous women.
Men have a platform now, as before when it was just Oprah and Sally, Jesse Raphael, and Ricky Lake. That's all we had to really go by. But now men are picking up the microphone, men are doing their thing, men are giving their perspective on things, and it kind of gives a counterbalance, and that's what we need.
And I think that it's also very sobering for women too, for them to actually consider what the future holds based off of their behavior and like their choices.
If this is not new information, why has nothing improved?
Because the message is not getting out. Not just women.
I think it's a small percentage of people that actually hear the message, because just like Meme was pointing out, it's like, okay, Pearl's channel has got what, a few thousand more subs than FNF, but that's still, you know, it's so weird. Every once in a while you'll get recommended a channel and it's like, oh, the fuck is this? Okay, reasonably high production values. Oh, they have 8 million subs. This corner of the internet, while it gets a disproportionate amount of attention, is relatively small. I think that I'm probably overestimating it by about 10% of people will hear the message, and then about 5% of that will probably do something with it. Like, there's a lot of red pill masturbators that are just gonna, you know, read the Rational Mail, pick up Unplugged Alpha from Rich Cooper, okay, or just, you know, just consume all of the ideas and then just sit there and go, yeah, those women, they'll eventually get it one day. I'll wait until they hit the wall. And it's like, well, if you're not gonna act on it, you're not gonna improve your life with it. What fucking good are you out there? It's better than not being aware of that stuff, but then at the same time, if you're actively not going to make anything change, you just fucking stay over there.
Women, but everybody's on their square. The men are over here, the women over here, everybody's separated. Even when you go out, man, in clubs, everybody's separated. It's just, how can you improve from that? Everybody's more engaged to their phones.
You know, before you can have social change, you have to have awareness, right? And I'm going to go to the opposite, which is the women's suffrage movement, let's say. Well before women got the right to vote, there had to be decades literally, of awareness of those issues before there was any meaningful social change. And I think that I think that may be the case here. And maybe it's not decades, but any social movement starts with awareness.
But just because you have information doesn't mean that things are going to improve. There are so many people that know how to be fit. They know they should, eat a little less food. They should eat nutritious food. They should go to the gym. They should try to get sleep. But how many people are doing that? A lot of people know, how to take care of their relationships, but who's actually doing it? A lot of people know what to do, but actually doing it, or being aware of what to do and actually doing it, are two different things. So I don't think it just applies to this topic.
Why do these channels spend so much time on self-improvement and men grooming themselves to please toxic women that just want to use them and bring nothing to the table?
So between the two. So if you're vetting for anything, maybe a little bit long term, maybe you want a roster. Okay, maybe you want a few main girls that are on rotation, or you're just looking for that one special girl that's out there. You've got the idea of the soulmate myth, and this is the girl for me. God just created her for me. Sure. Out of all of the billions of people that have ever been on Earth, God created that one person for you. Fantastic. No, it's to understand what women are, not to hate them for what they're never going to be to you. Again, shout out to Rollo for that one. But yeah, no, it's to be able to properly vet the person that you're going to be spending a considerable amount of time with. That's what that is. Become the best version of yourself to attract the best high quality women that are out there. And then even if you find some 304s amongst their mix, well, you can, properly sort them out. Okay. Hey man, the potential class goes over here and then the pump and dumps go over here.
That's opinion. I feel like, a lot of men lose a lot of masculinity. So I just feel like they just need to know, let these females know you can't just use any man how they want to use them.
To please toxic women that just want to use us and bring nothing to the table.
We shouldn't.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good. We shouldn't use it for toxic women.
I believe that you supposed to better yourself so you can attract the women you want, not gold diggers and shit.
So the idea is become a person that is that somebody would want to be with, and not do it, but don't do it just to. It's kind of like pickup artists. The idea of kind of gaming the system, playing a game versus becoming a person who's attractive to the type of people you want to attract.
Does having a flashy car and a fancy watch attract the type of women you want?
Personally, no, because
I've thought about this quite a bit, okay? Because normally it's like, okay, you want them to like you for you. Yuck. But that's another thing. If you want the most attractive girls, and there are some good chicks that are extremely hot. There are some terrible chicks that are extremely hot that are just victims of the lifestyle, if you will. But you won't get a chance. You will not get a chance to be invited to those situations, to be around those chicks, if you don't have certain prerequisites in place. Is it necessary to have those characteristics? No, it's just proof of concept that you have the ability to get access to those things. But if they're rented or borrowed, well, chicks are also very socially aware of shit, so they're going to be able to smell that disingenuous nature on you. I was trying to invent a new word there for a second. So either come correct or don't come at all, because, well, if you don't come correct, you're not going to be coming at all.
a lot of them are not loving me, they're loving what I can do for them, so no.
I want a girl that's more traditional value, a girl that has more...
Who can speak better than me, can teach me a few things? To be fair, these kids look like they're, 16 or 17 years old. Eventually, they'll get out of the lip gloss stage.
Some more things we haven't...
And yo, what's with that poodle perm shit? I don't fucking get it. Kids are weird.
In common.
Not really materialistic, all that.
All chicks are materialistic. Just fucking get it through your head.
How is having game different than simping for women?
Ooh, good point. In theory, simping would be being a nice guy. So if you're talking about in terms of pickup artists, simping would be being a nice guy, whereas pickup artist stuff is heavily, at least in certain people's expression of it, involves negging and that sort of thing.
Pickup is It's kind of playing, I was going to say psychological manipulation, but I think that could be taken wrong, even though it is kind of correct in its description that, yeah, no, you use the attraction triggers that are biologically ingrained in women, okay, and then you use that as an exploitation method in order to trigger a response, because if you can get a woman emotional, whether it's positive or negative, it's an emotional response, and you can manipulate it, and you can just go ahead and maneuver it from there. I'm not saying that, that's the most ethical way of the most ethical way of interacting with women, but it's one of the most effective ways. Okay, there's Asian pickup artists for Christ's sake, so it fucking works. Whereas simping, and I think it was Tristan Tate who said this initially, simping is the unequal exchange of value between men and women. So yes, there can be female simps that are out there, those chicks that really want that high quality man, but she just ends up popping pussy for them and never gets put anything further than just a recreational use only category. As for men, yeah, simping, we all know what it is, okay? Leading with your wallet first and foremost. So that's the difference between the two. Okay, you can be a simp and a pickup artist, okay? Just because you smash on the first night and then you just try to turn it into something, take a look at Tucker Max, for Christ's sakes. Like, okay, yeah, the guy he went from being one of the most prolific pickup artists out there to getting a marriage, and then all of a sudden now he pays child support and alimony. Fucking sucks to suck, I guess. Yeah, they serve, they serve beer in hell, and that beer is also served by a divorce attorney.
And so one is being nice, and one is getting what you want without being nice.
Game is like winning her mind over with just your mouthpiece.
Yeah, there it is.
Simping is like, hey, I'll spend so much money on you. I'll buy you dinner. I'll take you shopping. Like, you don't need money to get a woman.
Yo, Laquan Armstrong right there that guy knows some shit. That's why he has to contain all of his power with his polarized lenses.
Game is usually when you're trying to hit on a girl to get laid. Simping for women is when you're trying to get a girlfriend.
Game is social communication between, it doesn't really matter the sex of your target. It's congruency between actions and your verbalization of your intentions.
Having game is being able to go up to a girl, start a conversation with her, get her laughing, giggling, you feel me? Being able to get the number and be able to go somewhere from that.
What does it mean to flex?
To flex would be
I think that's a low value. Is a low value trait to a flex. It's like, okay, cool. You have that. Guess what? Somebody's going to have more of what you have. Okay, cool. You got a nice ride. Somebody has 14 of those rides. It's like puffing up your feathers. It's like being a peacock, just showing off your tail. Oh, look at how wonderful and fantastic I am. Not realizing that underlying any of that, you don't really have the characteristics or the attributes to really be worthy of acquiring more of the thing that you're using to flex. Okay, like if you're just doing it to be funny, or just like they say, flex on the broke boys. That's a different situation, but flexing in general in order to inspire any sort of additional attention from the opposite sex, it just shows you that you place your material goods ahead of your actual character worth, and that's just a losing proposition.
Show of a display of wealth or power or something like that.
The flex just means to, like show off, to be a showboat, to do too much. Like,
what's the difference between old money versus new money, and which one is more likely to flex?
Obviously, new money would be more likely to flex, I think. So old money is would be a person who has family money. New money is a person who just made money and is therefore more likely to flaunt it.
How is buying a bunch of luxury items to impress women not just another form of simping?
I feel like that's a good thing. It depends what the guy feels. Like if the guy is doing it for the women, then I understand that. I view that as a form of simping because they're trying to get their attention. But if they buy that for any other external reasons outside of that, I believe that has a different meaning in my opinion.
I think it is kind of like being simping because it's
sort
like
of paying attention
you're
to
wanting,
that.
you're begging for attention for women, and you're offering materialistic items, not really what like is in the inside, like a conversation or something about yourself.
It used to be, yeah, I want a man that's gonna protect me, who'll be there for me, who'll be the leader, the head of the household. Now it's, yeah, I want a man who makes who makes 5 figures. I want a man who, you know, who doesn't work a 9 to 5. I want a guy who does all these crazy things but can't bring anything to the table. See, like.
No, she brings the exact same stuff that she wants from you, because women think that attraction is symmetrical, not realizing that is asymmetrical. Okay, cool. You've got money. Great. You've got a vehicle. Fantastic. Cool. How does that benefit me, who has more money, who has a better vehicle, who has all of those attraction triggers for females? Why do you think that and you would make me attracted to you? That makes zero sense. I don't like guys, so why would I want masculine characteristics in a female that I'm looking for? This is what happens, man. Women are told that, yes, they're sugar and spice and everything nice, and whatever the fuck he said about slug tails and dog tails and all that other shit at the beginning. Yeah, not having to understand that femininity is the most. Yeah, fuck it. It is the most, not just attractive thing, it is the most powerful force that is underdeveloped and underutilized in today's world.
East back then, when women, you know, when women had all these crazy high expectations, it was, you feel me, they were at least bringing something back to the table.
Do women's delusional expectations require men to set delusional goals?
In a sense, yeah. Some girls want like a six-figure man, and like honestly, like dude, like look at yourself. Like you don't have a job. You expect your looks to get you everywhere, and like it could affect men delusions, dreams, or whatever.
It's because those are the dudes that are always around those chicks that just demand the 6 figures. It's like, okay, cool. They don't actually know, and they can't actually quantify what a 6-figure man can do, because they're just used to having, you know, expensive dinners all the time, thinking that, oh yeah, he makes 6 figures. It's like, okay, $100,000, $200,000, like that's a nice chunk of change. That's good living in most places that are out there. I'm leaving out the major cities because those are anomalies when it comes to, you know, a certain amount of wealth, but moderate sized states that are out there, yeah, that's incredibly good living. But if you're thinking that somebody's going to be dropping $2,000, $3,000 on dinner and the club every night, yeah, that's like a 7 or 8 digit a year person. Okay, like their sense of money is so fucking warped, so that's why they think I bring my own money to the relationship. You couldn't even pay for a week, let alone a month or a lifetime of the lifestyle that you've been accustomed to, based on the amount of attention that you can get online. So fucking stop it.
What's the difference between a woman rating herself a 10 and a guy calling himself an alpha male?
The difference is, if an alpha male is like a king. You know what I'm saying? You're always supposed to treat a man like a king. And a woman that's rating herself 10, she just bougie and stuck up.
Nobody's 10 out of 10. Nobody in this world is 10 out of 10. It's just you having an inflated ego. But being an alpha male, you're just, you know, like you feel like you're a dominant person. You feel like, you know, you can set the tone. You can take charge and lead things.
Men recognize alpha males. Women, not all, but some women are delusional, and they think they're 10s, and they're far from it. So, but women can tell themselves anything and believe it. Men, we have to prove it.
Why do men even have to be labeled alpha or beta males in the first place?
They don't need to be. I don't know where it came from, and I don't understand why it's a thing.
You know,
it's just been used as a descriptor in order to characterize desirable characteristics in men. That's not necessarily fair, because, okay, as much... sticking up for betas for a second, okay? Because women want characteristics from both sides. Whenever you hear about, okay, who do you want the guy? Do you want the hot guy from the... Nah, fuck it, I'll find my own analogy for that one. But yeah, they want the dude that'll just, you know, take them to bed and, you know, fuck the shit out of them. But then at the same time, okay, when they're 40 or 50 years old, they want that guy that'll just snuggle up right next to them and just take care of them and just give both kisses back and forth. You know, they want both sides of the fence. They want the provision from the beta, and then they want just the raucous behavior of the alpha, the leadership characteristics of that Chad, Tyrone, Jose... insert masculine Asian name there, Bruce. That works. But yeah, no, they want both of the things that are out there. So you need descriptions for those characteristics. And again, it's just taking a look and extrapolating, mostly because men don't mind, analogies. So if you just say, oh yes, it's like the alpha lion of the tribe, the alpha gorilla of the tribe has this list of characteristics. Oh yeah, and they're analogous to, high tier men, respected men that are out there. Oh, okay, those characteristics. Oh, okay, those are for the subservient, different animals that are out there. Okay, and those kind of show up in the different sort of follower males that are out there. Oh, okay, cool. So those the characteristics and those descriptions work for the two different groups of men that are out there. You can of course extrapolate that out with a sociosexual hierarchy with gamma, delta. What are the other ones? Sigma male. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Wonderful. Fantastic. Okay. But yeah, there's the omega and did I say delta? Regardless, okay, it's basically those two different groups, and women like both characteristics from both. But if you could choose between one, well, it's pretty easy to know which side is more preferable. When it comes to self-improvement, you're not trying to become a bigger doormat. Let's just say that.
That's sort of an analogy, and then there's the Sigma male. We have the Sigma male.
What is that?
I swear to God, I did not see this beforehand.
That is the
biggest cope for betas.
These are all analogies from wolves, of course, which are not necessarily the most applicable to human society. But if we're making analogies from wolves, the Sigma wolf hunts outside the pack. He's like a lone wolf. He's even cooler than the alpha. And so after the alpha male. And people self-proclaiming alpha male status has sort of lost some status, and now everybody wants to be the Sigma male, who's cooler than the alpha male because he's the lone wolf.
Listen, you can't accomplish shit ever by just being the one fucking dude. Okay, everybody had hordes, everybody had armies around them in order to achieve anything. The myth of the Sigma male. It's just big cope for losers.
What's the difference between calling a man a beta male and shaming a man for not being a real man?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, in common parlance, there's absolutely no difference. Yeah, no, good point.
Honestly, some men just like to be named alpha and for the ego, just to boost the ego, like there's something.
Yeah, and that's the same thing, okay, with different creators in the Manosphere. Whenever somebody wants to talk about them, those toxic alpha males that are over there. The guys that I rattled off beforehand, they have never called themselves alpha males. And anybody who does that is not only fucking cringe, but, they just wouldn't be alpha males if they called themselves alpha males. Yuck.
I think they're successful because they can do something that other men can't, when in reality we're all equal and we're just trying to better ourselves.
Why are there some men who shame women for having a high body count, but then also complain about how hard it is to get laid? Is that a double standard?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. They want all the women to sleep with them, not everybody else, though. So yeah, I mean, it is a kind of hypocrisy. Yes.
When a girl has a high body count, in my opinion, her
streets
value kind of decreases, and I feel like women know that. So that's why I feel like when women are in arguments with another woman, they tend to say, "Oh, that's why you're a hoe. That's why you're a whore." All this stuff, and I feel like they know that that's devaluing, and they try to use that against each other, even when they're.
Should we be blaming simps for women's bad behavior?
No.
Yes. Yeah. Without simps, without reinforcing that bad behavior, women would adapt, women would change. But because guys will do anything to get box, well, hey, you're an insufferable bitch. Nah, man, you're just strong and independent. Oh, you got a couple of extra pounds? Love your curves. Simps are the most detestable group, and then also the ones that have augmented reality more than just about anybody else that's out there. For all of the alpha males that are out there actually making a difference, simps probably have caused the most societal destabilization. Especially, just check out OnlyFans. How many chicks do you know that have OnlyFans accounts? Okay, some of them make pennies, some of them make pounds. And even though if they have a couple of extra pounds on top of that. Without simps, all of that behavior would be fucking gone.
Didn't women set the terms that they needed to be served and put on a pedestal, which created simping in the first place?
Yes. I say 80% of it is simps, because they're the ones going to OnlyFans, paying money,
there it is,
being suckered. And like Snoop said, if you're a sucker, you're going to get licked.
You're sending this girl money you've never seen. You feel me? You're asking her. You're asking her to do
that you're never going to see
all these crazy things for you over online or in person. But you feel me? It's not real love.
Simping is the worst thing you could ever do.
Yep. Didn't women set the terms that they needed to be served and put on a pedestal, which created simping in the first place?
That's not what created simping, in my opinion. What created simping is mothers, single mothers that raise their sons to be suckers. And then they raised it. See, they got with the bad boys. Women like bad boys by nature. They got with the bad boys, didn't like the outcome. Then they raised their sons to be good boys. But then the son finds out that women don't want good boys. They want bad boys. Or they want bad boys and turn them into good boys.
The phenomenon of simping would be
perfect description.
Would probably go back further in human psychology, all the way back to the caveman times. I'm sure there's going to.
Ooh, me have nice cave. Me have plenty rocks. Ooh, come back with me. Oh, actually, if it was the caveman days, he just would have seen an appropriate target and just went. And then that would have been the end of it.
Going to be a caveman simp if we were to trace it back far enough.
Aren't simps a byproduct of what feminism has caused?
Yep.
So then why are we blaming the victim?
I have no idea.
Shit.
Why do men even have to be labeled alpha or beta males in the first place?
In my opinion, I don't really think there's a reason.
Kind of goes the exact same way. This is an idea that I'm just having right now. I might be completely wrong when it comes to this, but here's my thought about it. It's because men's highest and most attractive quality is their status, if you just want to completely boil it down to the root, whereas for women it's, you know, their looks and then their chastity, desertion when it comes to sexual encounters. I can't think of the proper term right now, but close enough. Okay. So yeah, that's why their first point of attack when women attack each other is, yes, you're a hoe, you're a slut, you're, you know, what, all that stuff. You fucking, it echoes the next time somebody goes down on you. And as for men, oh, you're just a beta male that's out there. You see that thrown around a lot. That's an attack on status. The most important thing to a man. Okay, that's the entire reason that they fucking do anything in order to acquire status.
To use it, I feel like that's a stupid way to put like labels on men. But I feel like it's just been around because just
you pussy bitch. Exact same thing.
It's like predatory instincts, like how us humans just evolve.
Men today and boys and men.
Boys to men.
There's a lot that they can take away that's useful from those messages, and I think that you know, to paint it with that broad of a brush that it's misogynistic inherently, I don't think is correct.
Yep. Oh yeah, so that is part 1 done. We can just go right the fuck over to part 2. Oh, see, they already had it right there, but that's all right. I already got pulled up. This one's half an hour long, so I guess they're asking a couple of different guys. I wonder if there's any I doubt that he's going to run through questions again, but we'll see. I also got that other one there in the background as well, so.
Oh, shit. Damn, now that I get it. Damn, I never thought.
Manosphere.
Okay, here we go.
What is the manosphere?
The manosphere, I would say.
First question, ran it back. God damn it.
Is men finally waking up. Yeah.
Okay.
Men finally waking up.
What do you think of all the different manosphere channels and the similarities and differences between their messages?
Oh, this looks like it's just going to be the exact same thing.
As in any group or any phase, there's always going to be some bad apples. So I'm not going to bring up the bad apples, but I will bring up the fact that these channels do allow men to sit back, recalibrate themselves as men, look back at the things that they
Just
may
for
have
the
done
sake, just
and
for the
be able to
sake,
change
that
themselves.
might be
A
the
lot of these
exact same
channels
shit.
are helping relationships, and that's all that matters. The ones that are being the worm in the apple, we don't worry about those because that's in everything. You have bad Christians, you have bad Muslims, and everything else. We only worry about the ones that's awakening people on both sides of the spectrum, because it's not just for men, it's for women as well. So once people are woken up on both sides of the spectrum and you have that good balance of feminine and masculine energy, a lot more relationships will be going well. And that starts with accountability, and that's why I love these channels, because that's what a lot of them do preach. And unfortunately out here in Western society, that's like acid to people. It's like, oh, I don't want to be held accountable for things. So I do appreciate these channels, and the ones that's using this movement to perpetuate their ideas on the people, their narcissistic ways, shame on y'all, because y'all are the reason why a lot of people don't receive these messages well, and they just call in and want to be combative.
Do you watch this content more for the educational value or for the entertainment value?
Both, but more education wise. That's the simple fact that I'm a man. I have no time to really play out here. Nobody's gonna play with me. I'm a man. People play with women and kids. You know what I'm saying? So the content aspect of it is not as much. I really watch it to deduce society and myself and learn things from other cultures and myself as a man and women. You can never not learn too much.
How much of what's being said is new information?
Honestly, it's not new information. When you think about it, it's not new information, bro. This is the reason why our grandpas and our grandmas relationships lasted 50, 60 years, because it's not new information. It's information that people just didn't use or give a damn about using, because everybody has their motives, and Western society teaches different plateaus as far as relationships are concerned nowadays. But this isn't old information. It's been around. Your grandma, your grandpa done told you this. Your mama, your daddy done told you some things that you could have done to help yourself in certain relationships.
Yeah, you know what? I'm pulling an audible on this one. Okay, that's fine. We kind of got everything from the previous video as well. I've got it. I found something else. It's a Jubilee panel. Okay, it's a Jubilee panel. I just looked it up on... let's take a look. I can show you guys right here. Men's rights versus feminism. Okay, yes, men's rights dudes versus feminists. We can watch this one. I think this will be a good replacement. I think these Jubilee panels have been quite good, okay? And I've seen some other people. I haven't actually watched this one yet, but I've seen other people react to them. So I think that, it'd be pretty good fodder that's out here. So we can go to this one, or we can do the It's Complicated Street interview, just as a break in between. But I'll let you guys choose here for a second, because shout out to you guys for turning out for this one, and I really do appreciate that. So I want to get your guys' input here real quick before we delve into the next topic. How about that? So yeah, great turnout on Rumble. Shout out to you guys. Woke and realize. I recently learned the original definition of woke and realized I used to know it, but was memory hole because it was on the verge of brainwashing. Yeah, man, I'll tell you what. Let me tell you what. No, when I was going to college, I swear to God, that was 2012, 2013, in that area. That's when the shit was really starting to crest. It was starting to come above the horizon. They were really leaning into the whole white man bad narrative, and it was real tempting to just, kind of walk down that path, but then realizing that I'm not a bad guy. So yeah, it all starts in the universities and colleges. At least that's where I found it. Okay, so let's see. Okay, good to be here. Yo, Ed's here. So yeah, let's go. Let's go with, did I get that one? That is, It's Complicated. That's the Manosphere one we already watched. Yeah, fuck it. We'll do the street interview first. If there's more that are fucking hilarious, let's go with that. So, sucks with their notification. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but yeah, no, it's all good. It's really all good. But no, let's do the street interview first. It's only 10 minutes long, fuck it.
Why are men taught how to treat women, but women aren't taught how to treat men?
Oh, because women are the gatekeepers to sex and men are the gatekeepers to relationships. That's why. And then most men, or a vast majority of men, are just simply simps, and they're just going to do whatever they can in order to keep that steady stream of pussy coming their way. So women don't need to be taught shit. That's why we have the society we do right now in Western civilization, because, hey, man, women have been able to just run wild. They're free and independent, and well, you know what? Hey, man, they don't have to learn about consequences until they start to age and can't quite attract the exact same level of attraction that they used to at the bar. So, yeah, that's the only time that they learn, and then they start to figure out that, oh, boy, there's the men's problems that are out there that I could attract the attention of some of those guys that are out there as well. Yep,
Ooh, that is intriguing. I guess growing up, you know, I'm in my 50s now, there was always a stigma about being a gentleman or being a young lady as well. But for some reason, you're right. There was always the men who were taught how to, hold the door open for a woman, be chivalrous and sacrifice yourself. I don't know. I kind of like it. It's interesting that women are not taught the same thing. But then again, men aren't taught necessarily how to dress and groom themselves as well as some ladies are.
Can you define chivalry?
Whoa.
No. That's just being polite. Like, I don't know, just holding the door open.
I bet you she could define every item that's on the McDonald's value menu.
That stuff.
I don't want to sound misogynistic here, but just...
Oh, she's going to anyways, and she's also going to sound stupid.
It's a guy doing the manly things for a girl.
It's not misogynistic, but I was right at the latter. Yo, what the fuck? That is the least attractive thing. Okay, sidebar for a second. Those fucking sticker tattoos are the least attractive thing that a woman can do. It is fucking atrocious. And then also the early 2000s, little half dye job and the bull ring. Oh my god, but she probably has way more DMs than I... Oh, it's just not... I'm not saying that it's... So fucked. The system's fucked.
Chivalry is... Do you know what? I think it applies to both genders now with this day and age, but chivalry traditionally
Yo, that's probably like a Glasgow 7, if we're going to be completely honest. Holy.
is a guy opening a door for a woman, a guy letting the woman sit down at the table first. It is a guy being a gentleman.
Oh yeah, you're fucking right. You like to share a Guinness.
Properly dressed and holding the door, but it's more than that. It's in the things that you might not see every day. It's taking the trash out without being...
Why is this guy giving dating advice? I don't care what you need to do in order to pick up a dude.
Asked, it's going out and mowing the grass or making plans for your significant other without it even being a special occasion. I think chivalry is really just...
Chivalry is medieval simping, if we're being completely honest, but it used to be a fair exchange of value because women were feminine. They did the female role. Men, by virtue of using chivalry, they were enacting and they were just simply living out the male role. But now to use chivalry in today's day and age, well, you're using the conventional masculine imperative, and women, well, that's what you get.
It even being a special occasion. I think chivalry is really just being a decent, upstanding person and treating someone like they're the most important thing in the world to you.
What are your thoughts on the following list of expressions? Ladies first, ladies night, happy wife, happy life, never keep a lady waiting, women are special, women are queens, women are the prize, women are always right, placing women on a pedestal, and it's a woman's prerogative to change her mind.
Those are really old school terms. Well, 1950s type woman. We're in a different world now. I smoke weed. I hit the bong. I'll...
Streets. Sure. I'd have to see her body if she would even be recreational use only, but that's just me personally. Chicks that do drugs, like, obviously, I'm very open about the fact that I don't do any of that shit, okay? By choice, always have, more than likely, always will. It's just... That's a degenerative quality, and it never, ever, ever is a hallmark of a high quality or just a worthwhile woman.
Shotgun.
Like, even her friend is just like, oh yeah, great, wonderful, fantastic.
Faster than you.
So you don't think any of those still apply?
Some of them do, but I don't think that women should be held at a higher standard than men.
Or a.
I mean, is that holding women to a higher standard or a higher status?
No.
The bigger the hoops.
I feel like.
Merch.
Aren't they all products of chivalry?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Gotcha.
Yes, they are. I agree to that statement, yes.
Would you consider chivalry to be a female privilege?
Yeah.
Ooh, we're getting personal.
How could it
yeah,
not?
I'm going to say yeah.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
feel like because girls never return it. It's always the guy.
You don't
She's kind of cute in like a field goal sort of way.
see women holding doors open for men. You don't see a lot of women asking a guy out and then taking him out and picking up the check.
So is chivalry sexist?
Ooh.
By definition.
I don't know, because if you're traditional, then it's just tradition. But yeah, I mean, I guess some would say.
If chivalry is about being polite, wouldn't it be polite for women to do all those same things for men?
It definitely would be polite, but it depends on your relationship. Some
I
men
ain't
like
doing
to be
any
the
of that
man
shit.
and
Fuck that.
take that dominant role and take care of their woman, so.
It gives him the opportunity to
Get sex?
no, not sex, no. So
Door
yeah, it
openers
makes
and
good
whore
sex.
openers.
However, it gives him the opportunity to provide and be that strong man for the woman that he is dating.
To be a slave?
Wow, no.
Be a simp?
You know.
maybe like a couple of notches down from a simp, but yes, a simp.
What is the difference between being a chivalrous gentleman and being a simp?
For me, the difference is pretty much knowing whether or not
Chocolate
you are
ball out
actually wanted in the situation.
Everybody think being a simp
Oh,
is a bad thing.
Lord.
It's not a bad thing.
Look at. Wow. Can she actually take off if it's a windy enough night? What the? Yo. Holy. No. I don't even think my parents' cats have fucking eyes or hair that's long. Holy shit.
Thing to me. I can't really answer that question because being a simp is not a bad thing to me. I mean, if you care about your woman,
Yeah, simping is king shit, right? That's right. Give me my free bag.
that's not a bad thing.
I told somebody that they
Yo, what the fuck? Okay, maybe she was just blocked out the last time. She was on 300 pounds lighter. Lizzo was on the screen, but yo, what's with the breathe rate strip on her nose over there? And yo, you can see why guys just aren't exactly all too happy about engaging in the dating market, because that's your prize, gentlemen.
were giving me
That's why you have to become the best version of yourself.
too much and that they were being a simp when I was not fully interested, and I had displayed that to them. And so for him to have continued to buy me stuff, I feel like that is kind of what made him a simp in comparison to someone who was just being chivalrous.
A lot of people believe that chivalry is just about being polite, like holding the door open, but chivalry is also part of guys getting down on one knee and proposing to a woman, guys being expected to kind of pay a woman's way on a date, things like that, right? If chivalry is about being polite, wouldn't it be polite for women to do all those same things for men?
Absolutely.
Then why don't they?
I do.
Okay, but why do you
Because
think
we're
that?
already held at a different standard anyways. It's nothing against the actual men, but if our government wants to act like we're not as important as men, then you should do the fucking...
Oh my god, yes. Well, probably because you're out there fucking raw every night of the week, okay? It's not just Monday nights for you, but that whole idea, oh my god, we don't have equal access to abortion. And it's like, fantastic. Just name one right that you don't have that a man does. Name one privilege that you have, or that a man has that you don't. But no, you're the victim, and then you're just the strong, independent boss bitch that everybody takes home for the night, and then just you need to pack your shit and get the fuck out. God, I hate her even more.
Work. I can't. If I want an abortion and I can't get one somewhere.
So, yeah, I just can't kill a kid anywhere I want to. Bitch, you're in fucking Nevada, for Christ's sakes. I think that it's still available there. And if not, California is right next door. Even if you want to kill off your fucking toddler before he goes to school, feel free in the great Golden State.
My fucking door for me.
So all guys should pay for the
That's also
mistakes of a few men
unattractive.
who make the laws?
No.
But that's the world we live in, and we don't pick and choose, so.
When you're on a date,
you and your ilk literally vote for the Democratic Party that have put all of that shit in place at a rate of like just about 70%. So shut your fucking yaps.
Who should pay?
We're dating.
But here's the
gentleman here.
Okay. He's supposed to pay.
Yeah.
Random.
It would be
TEDx
nice. I
talk?
would love to have a woman come up to me and say, you know what? I want to take you out to dinner. I'm going to pay for it myself. And you know what? If you play your cards right, you might get lucky. Wouldn't that?
Shout out to Ed one more time. You generous motherfucker, you. I was going to type something out, but you know what? Hey, that deserves a call out. Shout out to you, my friend. Thank you very, very much. You're always way too generous. I appreciate it.
Be fantastic. I would even submit to that if women wanted to take the lead.
Is chivalry dead?
Yes.
Who killed it?
I knew where that
Feminism.
Why do some
she's
women
on
find
crutches
chivalry
too?
patronizing
She's a
while other women expect it?
Because they're so into the feminism shit where they can't understand what's like the equilibrium. They're so far up into one side or the other.
She's one of those chicks that would say, I'm not a feminist, even though she has all the fucking feminist fucking points.
It's an equal balance here.
The fact that this is now the 21st century and everything's so modernized and it's not the way it was before, and if a guy tries to help a woman, they might perceive that as they think I can't do this myself.
You think that I can't do it for myself, especially when some people offer it in the way that they think that someone
Yeah, because if she can't do it, the government will.
can't do it for themselves.
I opened the car door for them, and they're like, thank you. And then I've gone out with women that I go to open the car door, and they're like, what are you doing? So
and then that bitch gets left on the curb.
I guess this goes back to the simplicity of men versus the complexity of women. If you ask a man what another man's thinking, if a woman comes up to me and says, my boyfriend said this and well, this was the situation, I can tell her with some degree of accuracy what he's thinking and why he did what he did. Ask a woman the same thing. You know, my girlfriend did. She can't tell you. She has no idea why. Women can't even figure out other women. How are we supposed to be able to figure out women?
If the definition of lady is not serving a man, why is the definition of a gentleman to serve a woman?
Well, because the government some 100 years ago decided that men should be on top of women. And we didn't make these roles. We didn't make the narratives. We were given them.
What's the difference?
I think I might have just had a little Joe Biden stroke there for a second. That was so stupid. Gotta run that back there for a second.
Government some 100
to serve a woman.
Well, because the government some 100 years ago decided that men should be on top of women. And we didn't make these roles. We didn't make the narratives. We were given them.
That's why women are so subservient to the government, because they think that daddy government literally controls every aspect of life, not realizing that traditionally male roles and traditional female roles predate every form of government. But no, men are just on top of women. Just don't tell us about your plans later tonight, you fucking dunce.
What's the difference between feminist women shaming men for being men and traditional women shaming men for not being real men?
It's not really different. Shame and shame.
If you're a feminist and that's your ideals and what you believe in, of course you're going to gripe and complain that, you know, about men in one regard. And if you're a woman that has strong opinions in the other direction, you're probably going to complain in the opposite way that men aren't masculine enough. And that's why people get together, and that's why some couples work out and some couples don't.
Why do some women find chivalry patronizing when other women expect it?
I have no idea, because I'm the woman who expects it.
What's the difference between chivalry and manners?
Oh, she's so cute, or so close to being cute.
Just being a polite person, but I
Except for the herpes on her lip. Take that back.
guess chivalry is kind of like has that gender
I could save her.
tone under it of being a man means you have to be civil.
If women have been historically oppressed, where did the expression ladies first come from?
Huh. That's a good question for Wikipedia.
I'm not sure where it comes from. I mean, I was raised off you treat a woman as if she's on top of the world.
Maybe it was some man that, you know, really didn't want to go someplace and do something, and he knew there was danger, and he was like, hey, well, you know, ladies first. That was the beginning of feminism right there. Ladies first. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
How can a society that always places women first be called a patriarchy?
I give up on your question.
If there was some unwritten law that black people had to open the door or give up their seat, would that be racist?
Yes.
Yes.
So why is it when that same unwritten law is applied to men, it's not sexist?
Rosa Parks.
It's applied to women too.
As well. Yeah.
Well, I mean, aren't men typically ones expected to give up their seat and
No.
Hold the door?
Yeah.
Not technically.
Not today, but I mean, historically they were.
Historically they were, but
Not
historically
technically.
also we did have to give up our seats as well too. So, I mean.
Right.
Yeah, but you just said that was racist. Or are you actually stupid enough to think that women had to give up their seats anywhere? The fuck is wrong with you? God, people are fucking dumb. I was looking for a bonus video to just point out how stupid these kids are. If you've been watching, these types of reaction content for a while, I think you might know where we're going to be going after this one.
But I'm saying men were more likely to give up their seat for a woman.
I've never seen it.
Show me which one of you is going to be a gentleman. Why? Why are you not being a gentleman? Why? Why? Why are you not being a gentleman to me? What did I do to you that I caused you to not be a gentleman to me? I don't even know you. I don't even know you.
Honestly, men have made that standard for themselves. And women don't ask you exactly to give them your seat at the time. It's going to be like if you get on a bus, you're going to see, please stand up and offer your seat for disabled people, but you won't see that for, women and
Yeah, and then a woman comes and sits down. Yeah, we know, we heard.
children or anything. And so I feel like men do that to themselves. If they wanted to give up their seats for women, that is completely on them.
I think I was dumbstruck by that fucking turbo Karen there for a second. Oh, hey, look, it's a Gundam, but we're not playing that right now. Oh, god damn it. I don't want to play. No.
Oh.
What are you doing? But anyways, no. It's weird because I don't think I said this one yet, but I got a big Karen attack yesterday. Yeah, funny stuff. Kind of made me really want to double down on this topic here earlier today, but yeah, last night I had to go out and had to go do some stuff. Ended up grocery shopping, had to get some shit for the week, and obviously, I just taking my cart and going around a blind corner or whatever. And, some little fucking hag was, she had her entire cart filled up, and she was just strolling right down the fucking aisle, just completely fucking, clipping on her. And I was trying to make the turn that's over there, and she just about runs into me. Okay, I'm halfway through the aisle making the turn into the other aisle there as well, and she goes, oops, sorry. And it's like, whatever the fuck, and I just continue to go on. Oh, you're not sorry either? And she just walks the other way, and it's like, I don't care. But then I was thinking about it, and it's like at the same time where I was like, do I escalate this further by telling her to go fuck right off, or do I just look at her and realize that, wow, are we in such an entitled world right now that you're going to square up, or at least think that you have, that you have any sort of anything other than the fact that you're in a store that's protected by security. You're in a store that that you can act as fucking foolish as possible and no repercussions are going to befall you. But if I was me, okay, obviously I'm me, but if I had a screw loose, I'm 6.5 feet tall, okay? I'm about 2 and some change. If I had a screw loose, I could stuff that bitch inside of her fucking shopping cart and flip that motherfucker over and kick it all the way to the front door. Like, just the amount of shit that women think that they can get away with in today's day and age just because they get protected by daddy government and all of the societal norms that are out there. They think they live such a fucking charmed life that if guys just magically decided, fuck it, I don't mind catching a case today, it would be atrocities just around the place. I'm never calling for that. I'm just saying that in that split second, I realized that there's a reason that your husband's not even there. And if he is, well, and even if she did have a husband, okay, and judging by the amount of food she had in her cart, she better have somebody else at home. Otherwise, that better be like 3 months worth of shopping. But just just what she thought that she could get away with, guys get absolutely zero respect, even though they know that, you know, if there was any sort of physical altercation that could befall them, they would be totally fucked 6 ways from Sunday. But let's just decompress here for a second, because I got something else that I want to take a look at here. Okay, I was pulling that up on my phone here earlier. Okay, just because these broads are so fucking okay, I don't need that one. Don't need that one as well. Let's just see how
what country is the Queen of England from?
Okay, I got hip to these videos back when I was watching Sneeko's stream last summer. You know, quite a few different times I've seen these Fleckus Talks interviews. I was trying to look for a new one. Obviously, if you were, you know, peeking the history there as well, we got one where if you could stop nuclear war from happening, would you say the N-word? Yes, of course. I want to see what that one's going to be like afterwards, but that one might be a bonus one because we got that other round table. But we got some really fucking dumb people that are right here, and I loved these interviews back when I first seen them. So this is one that I haven't seen, so let's just have a laugh here. But I need to finish my drink first and foremost, because there's going to be something infinitely fucking dumb that's going to come out of somebody's mouth, and I like my monitor way too much to, you know, spit any of my valuable protein drink on. So talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Ugh, fucking gross. Ugh. You know, it is tasty and all that stuff, but just when there's a clump of it all together, it's fucking atrocious. Jesus Christ. I don't go there. I'm trying to... Oh, let me wash this down. There we go. Should check in with the chat here. How you guys doing tonight? Thanks for turning out for this. I appreciate everybody who does show up for these, man. It's a lot of good fun. You know, people funneling in and out all the time. I do appreciate that very, very much. Yeah, I see some new names in the chat. I see some returning names in the chat. It's all fucking fantastic. New name there, and Lily. Oh, for sure. Thanks for, yeah. First time watching? Thanks for coming through. We're about to have some very, very funny stuff play out, because like I said, I've seen a couple of these videos before. I kind of know what we're in for, but I think it's going to be a little bit fucking wild.
What country is the Queen of England from?
Oh, God.
Originally.
I definitely don't know.
No, give me your best guess. Guess a country.
What country is the Queen of England from? It's alright, she's got nice tits. She doesn't have to know specific things like that.
What is a country again?
Sorry, what?
So guess a country.
What is a country again?
Oh, okay. What is a country?
Give me a guess.
This is embarrassing.
Quite.
What is a country? What is a country? What is a country? Canada.
Yes. Do you know what time this is?
10 to 2.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. 2:45.
You fucking nailed it.
Yes. Do you know what country the Great Wall of China is in?
Country?
Yeah.
Yes,
Maybe that's a guess.
The Great Wall of China. What was she gonna say? Is this okay? This one came out 7 months ago, so the war was still going on. Cambodia?
Japanese.
It's in Japanese. Yo, I can see why this is the last one, and it came out 7 months ago. Like, his soul is dying in real time. It's in Japanese. Yes.
Yes. Do you know what the third month of each year is?
March.
Ain't that leap year or some shit?
Fantastic. Nailed it.
Yeah. Do you know what 15% of 100 is?
15?
Fuck.
Around what it is, if you had to guess.
Probably like 75. I don't know.
Nailed it.
Yes. Do you know what country we gained our independence from?
Spain.
Yes.
Fucking
How many
close.
inches are in 2 feet?
24.
I don't know.
Around how many inches?
Both of them.
If you had to guess.
5.
Yes. Do you know what country the Panama Canal is in?
No.
If you had to guess, like, what do you think it sounds like it's in? Guess a country.
Europe.
Oh.
Yes. Can you name all the months?
September, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August.
Yes.
Why would you? I bet your birthday's probably in September.
Do you know what country the Panama Canal is in?
Panama, Spain.
What do they teach? What do they teach in school? Okay, but she could probably tell you just what country do you have around your neck? I just want to know that question.
Yes. What do we call a shape with 5 sides?
Iraq.
Is it an octagon? Wait, that's 6. That's
Holy fuck. Octagon is 6. Yes, nailed it.
8. Octagon is 8.
Oh, she did correct herself. Okay, gotta give her credit for that.
Is it a stop sign?
What shape has 5 sides? Yeah, a stop sign. Okay.
Yes. Do you know what year the U.S. was founded?
Oh, no. I'm not going to answer that.
Around when? If you had to guess a year.
If you were Alex Jones, what year was the country founded in?
I do not know.
She has a McDonald's necklace on? Yeah, it's terribly exposed, but... Well, so's her intelligence.
Give me your best guess.
I'm going to say BC. I'm going to keep it at BC era.
Give me a number, BC.
You're only going to be off by about 1,800 years.
18 something.
3,600 years.
1800s.
BC?
Yeah.
Yes. How many weeks in a year?
75.
Nah.
Nah.
Okay. Weeks in a year?
There's no weeks in a year.
Can't count the weeks.
No, it's physically impossible. Nobody ever has a calendar.
4 times 12, 24 weeks?
Yes, 4 times 12 is 24. Good.
Yes. How many different moons does the Earth have?
Damn, that's a trick.
4.
Yes.
Yes. Do you know who fought in the Mexican-American War?
The Japanese and Chinese.
You remember?
Yeah.
Can't lie to you. I don't know that.
The North and the South.
Guess 2 countries. Who against who? If you had to guess.
Philippines.
Yes.
Yeah, against who?
Don't remember the other one.
Do you know what 3 times 3 times 3 is?
It's always a trick question. Remember bedmass? That's the earliest stuff that I know. So 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27.
9.
Who fought in the Mexican?
Now, to be fair, you're 3 and 3 and 3. At least you got, addition correct. It's not right, but you got it correct.
American War.
Or correct. Not either.
Fresh revolutions? I don't know.
Yo, this bitch can't speak English, okay? It's the Great Wall of China's in Japanese, and... The fuck did you just say?
War.
Fresh revolutions? I don't
Think about this. The Fresh Revolution?
know.
Yeah. How many moons?
Was that fought over length or girth?
Moons does the Earth have?
How many moons?
Around how many?
30? I don't know.
Yes. Do you know what 33 divided by 3 is?
No. I don't know.
Give me a guess, a number. Around what?
Yeah, it's probably a number somewhere between, 10 and 12. It's somewhere in that area, but she... the only thing that's that high is, her body count times 3.
33 divided by 3?
Yeah.
I don't know. 5? Nah. I don't know.
Yes. Do you know what 7 plus 7 plus 7 is?
Oh my god. However many masks his mom told him to wear. What the fuck? 21, okay.
28.
Oh, and he's not even wearing it over his fucking... Oh my god. It's just these NPCs wandering around Times Square.
No, I'm bugging.
Yes,
14,
you are. Okay.
That's 7.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can you tell me what time this is?
Okay, I know the long.
I didn't realize how dependent Gen Z is on just their phone. Like, I like watches. Watches are nice and all that, even though you can't really see it. Sorry. But yeah, no, I get the watch here, and I don't like digital watches because I'm not 4 years old. But yeah, I never realized that this was a problem. Like, I've never seen anybody also take cursive writing out on the street. Like, what does that say? But is really telling the time a problem? Is that something that they just aren't teaching in school anymore? Like, obviously the rest of these basic ass questions are also taught in school, but maybe that one's the most shocking to me. It's like, okay, basic math. It's like, yeah, people are generally fucking retarded, but I didn't think that it also translated to telling time. Well, okay. Well, the easy joke about the black people not being able to tell time.
1 is the hour.
Yeah.
So that's 10. Oh my god.
10 what? Around what time is this?
I'm not sure.
Give me your best guess.
Like lunch o'clock?
I want to say 10, 15.
Yes. Do you know how many moons the Earth has? Around how many, if you had to guess?
2.
She's gotten closer than anybody else has, so she gets points. She gets a new spool of boat rope for her hair for the next time.
Yes. Do you know what 2 countries border the USA?
No.
Dubai, and where else did I get flown out to? Greece.
Like, what's on top of us and what's below us?
Is
Laquan and Daquisha.
the North Pole below us?
Yeah.
Isn't the North Pole below us?
This is the dumbest human being I think I've seen in a long fucking time. Like, I understand that there's a bit of anxiety that's, put in place because the camera's right there, and maybe people are a little stage fright, but probably not her. She's probably got pictures all over the fucking internet, but she said that the North Pole is below us. Wow. Only women are allowed to be that fucking stupid. No offense.
Yeah. And what else?
What is above us? Is it Europe? Because...
Is that your guess?
Yes, that's my guess.
Yes. What country did we gain our independence from?
We're Canadian.
Russia.
Well, who did Canada gain its independence from?
Yes. If it's Monday right now.
That's not technically wrong, because Alaska got its freedom from Russia when it was purchased by America, so I'm trying to give out extra points.
What day of the week will it be in 14 days?
It's Monday right now. How many days? Like,
okay.
Day of the week?
How many days in a week?
Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or like a date?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
14 days. Today, Monday.
I don't know. I don't like working shit, but I got another tattoo appointment in like 14 days.
I'll say probably like a Wednesday or Thursday.
Yes.
Either
Do you know what's the difference between Mexico and New Mexico?
Nah.
Are they the same thing?
Maybe. I don't know. I think.
At some point in time they were, but no.
Yes. Can you name 5 states?
Oh, Lord.
States, damn. Berkeley, nah, I don't even know.
4 more states. Any states you want.
New York.
You got 2.
Manhattan, I don't know.
3.
That's
2 more.
State?
Yeah.
Oh.
2 more.
I don't know if you guys are dorks like me, but every once in a while, there's that little states quiz that's out there. You can find them all over the internet, but I like to do that every once in a while because, like I said, I'm a fucking dork whenever it comes to, just killing some extra time. And, hey, I can at least get familiarized with the country, but they can't name 5. There's 50 of them, motherfuckers. You can't get 10%.
Queens. I don't know.
Like, Alberta's a large province that I live in. Okay, I can name you from sea to shining sea, all of the different provinces, the 3 different territories. I could rattle that off fairly succinctly. Like, in New York, there are 5 states that border that motherfucker. And you can't name... Again...
I don't know if that's state. I don't know.
4. One more.
Let me
state.
The Bronx.
5.
Yeah,
nice.
named
Do you know
all
what
the
3
boroughs.
times 3 times 3 is?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Why? 21.
Hey.
Yes. Do you know how many states are in the USA?
Oh, no, she got it wrong, 27.
Around how many?
I just got excited. I heard 20.
24?
Yes. You know who fought in the
I don't
Mexican
even
American
think
War?
there was, at any point in time, 24 states.
Who? No.
Give me your best guess. Who against who?
Okay, wait. What was that Mexican War?
Mexican American War.
Who?
Give me your 2 best guesses.
You're just gonna make me look so stupid.
It didn't even happen.
Guess.
Okay, nothing happened.
What is 15% of 100? Around what?
Guess,
Half
give
of
me
her
your
body
best guess.
fat percentage.
15%. Is it? I wouldn't say 50 because that's half. So.
Yeah. You
Isn't
can
that
also
half?
tell
Give
us
me a number,
what,
yeah.
and what it isn't.
All right. Let's do 30.
Yes. Do you know what 77 plus 23 is?
You know, can't do simple math, my guy. That's the one thing that I'm gonna fail on.
Do you know what 15% of 100 is?
Oh shit.
Give me your best guess. What do you think it is?
I'm terrible at math. Wait, what was the question?
15% of 100.
And short-term
Around what?
memory, terrible at that.
25%.
Do you know what the 4 directions on a compass are?
Oh my god. Okay, okay, she has to name 4 different things. How many grammatical errors do you think we're going to have here? I'm going to go for a perfect 4 for 4.
No, not at all.
Do you know who the
Oh
current
shit! She's just equally retarded.
vice president is?
No.
Mike Pence.
Who do you think it is? Take a guess.
She's probably raising at least 3 kids and can't even name the current vice president.
I don't know.
That's also kind of a dig at Kamala Harris for being just absolutely forgettable.
I'm just waiting for Barack Obama to come back.
Do you know what
Yeah, that's something that can definitely... Jeez.
continents we're on?
You got me feeling dumb.
No, don't be dumb.
Yeah, don't feel dumb.
Just know. You know this.
Nah.
How many people are on Earth? Around how many, if you had to guess?
It just crossed over 8 billion?
I don't know. 200 trillion? Something like that.
Do you know how many continents there
Nailed
are?
it.
Take a guess.
Okay, let's all play geography together, shall we? North America, South America. It's been a minute. It's like, I didn't want to say 5 because that would be absolutely retarded. And then you got Africa, you got Asia, you got Europe, and then you got Australia, Oceania. So I guess there's 6. I guess I would have been wrong if I just would have spitballed an answer. Yeah, I got them all. 6.
10.
Can you name them? Can you name one? What continent are we on right now?
Oh, come on. United States.
Fucking nailed it. Yeah, you can see him dying in real time. Yo, shout out to this guy.
If you were born 10 years ago, how old would you be today?
Out of the way.
Oh, shit. I'd be 12. I'm 20.
Yeah, we know that you're 22, but holy rough 22 years.
22, right? I'll be 12.
Yeah, so if you were born in 2012, how old would you be today?
Oh, sorry. I heard you wrong. If I was born in 2012, I believe I'll be 12? Wait, no. 2012 to now?
Yeah.
Well, my sister was... I don't know. I'm sorry.
Give me a number.
Maybe 13.
Yes. If you were born 10 years ago, how old would you be today?
11. I'm 21.
If you were born 10 years ago today, you would be 11.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yo, this is... Like, if you don't see the question written down, it can... The way that it's phrased can be a little bit misleading, so I don't necessarily fault anybody for getting this one terribly wrong, but... just how stupid they are in general. You don't get fucking, completion points.
Yes. No, that's not... 10 years, you'd be 10. If you were born 10 years ago?
No.
What do you mean, no?
No.
If you were born 10 years ago, then you would be 10.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Because I'm 20.
Yeah, okay. What year is it?
What?
What year is it?
I'm 20.
Okay, so if you were born in 2011, how old would you be today?
Wow. 2011? 41.
Yes!
Oh. Wow. That's why they put that clip at the end. Wow. Holy... I was going to save this one. to the end, but it definitely is just the first thing that comes to mind.
The N-word to end world hunger?
Yes.
Yes.
No. I don't know. To end it? Oh, gosh.
Hell yeah! I got, yeah!
Yeah, but he says it every other fucking word to begin with, okay?
The fuck? It's just a word?
Hey guys, it's Nate Roscoe. Today we're going to be asking people if they would say the N-word to...
Yo, this guy looks... Anybody have sea monkeys growing up? Okay.
End world hunger. This is a collab with Flecka Talks. Hope you like it.
I think it's not my call to answer that. I don't know. If I was allowed to, but I would.
To end world hunger, would you say the N-word? Can anybody reasonably say, no, man, that's a bridge too far. I wouldn't want to offend theoretical black people. Well, let's be completely honest. It would just be fat white women who would be offended on behalf of black people who actually don't give a fuck about it.
I wouldn't do it. If I had public support from the black community to say it, to end world hunger, maybe. But
God, man, white people are so fucking lame.
But I wouldn't do it on my own accord.
Would you say the N-word to end world hunger?
Yes.
Yeah.
You would, no hesitation, just...
I would scream it out loud if it put food in babies' tummies. And I'd say it proud.
Would I say... No. I don't know. To end it? Oh, gosh.
Oh, you say it in bed anyways. Just shut up.
Yeah, I would... Honestly, no. I would have to. Well, no. Are there... No. If I had a poll and everybody came together and gave me permission... Yes. That's it. The community would have to come together because I
think hungry people would definitely give you permission.
No, it can't be the hungry people. It's got to be the people who will be affected by the word.
Absolutely no.
To end world hunger?
We already got people that can pay for that shit.
They don't. I mean, that's a tough question.
So you wouldn't do it under any circumstances?
Nah. Probably not.
Why not?
I don't know. It's not my place.
To end world hunger?
Nah. No, to say the word, not just end world hunger.
But to end world hunger, you got to say the word just once.
It's to end world hunger, yeah. I mean, it's
a good enough cause, right?
It's going to be harm for short term, but over long term, that's good for everyone,
So you would do it one time to end world hunger?
Yeah.
Would you guys let your white friends say the N-word to end world hunger?
You better be based, okay? And they're saying it anyways.
Hell yeah! I got It's just a word. I got plenty of white boys out yet. Let's say the N-word. Shit. They some real niggas. I'm gonna be honest. They more black than some black people I know.
When do
Would you guys say the N-word to end world hunger?
They won't.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
To end world hunger? Absolutely.
You think that's... Why do you...
All right, let's start negotiating. Okay, okay, so end world... Would you... What if we ended hunger on one continent? Okay, would you say it then? Okay. Would you say it for a Mars bar? Let's see where our line is.
You say yes. Some people say no. Why do you say yes?
Because people are hungry in the world. Who cares about people's feelings when their stomachs are empty? I agree.
All right, that's about the smartest chick we've seen in about the past hour.
I would say it once in world hunger. That's it. Yeah.
What if they got hungry again? Would you say it again?
No. Yeah. I would. Are you kidding me?
All right.
Put a sandwich in their stomach for sure.
All right, W. Becky. I'm gonna put something in her stomach.
Sure.
What if your friends got really mad at you?
Fuck you.
Would you say the N-word to end world?
Who cares what they think? They're just a bunch of
hunger.
Oh, of course.
Jeez. What the hell?
Yo, with that body type, you'd definitely be saying it.
What type of question is that?
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it a lot when I'm driving.
If the black community said, "We don't want you to say it," but if you said it right now, it would end world hunger, you still wouldn't do it? You wouldn't take one for the team to make no one hungry ever again?
I don't know, man. That's a tough question. I don't know. I don't know if I'd say it. I don't know.
Do a lot of other things, but
this is how scared and how shook the up-and-coming generation is. If you think shit's bad right now, holy man, give it another 10 years, this shit is going to be totally fucked. We are ahead of the curve, my friends. We are ahead of the curve.
I wouldn't say that specific word. Probably say a lot of other words.
You say it privately?
Nah, probably not.
Give us a top 10 list of your favorite racial epithets. I will start off right with.
What about people who say no? What do you think about the people who would say no to that?
Fuck you.
I understand it. The word has a lot of meaning behind it, obviously.
It
Some people feel some type of way about it, obviously.
I mean, honestly, I'm looking more for the benefit over the people rather than a small group. I mean, it's kind of a shitty situation either way, on the negatives, but a whole lot of other people you're helping.
So yeah, it's like you're feeding everyone who's hungry, but Hassan Piker's mad at you. So you wouldn't say...
I would consider that a triple W. How loud would you want me to scream the N-word?
To end world hunger.
With permission, I would. It's contingent. It's contingent on...
Yo, she's like half an African American anyways. Like, come on, what's your ethnicity? Come on, girl.
Things. That's it.
Who do you need permission from?
The people who would be
Al Sharp.
affected by me.
Who's the resident black person in charge? Okay, we don't have one in the White House anymore. Tell us, who do we speak to on matters concerning, the slur to end all slurs?
Saying it.
I thought you were going to say like Jesse Jackson or someone.
No, maybe.
To me personally, it don't really, words can't really, do that much, but certain people won't like that. You understand what I'm saying? Some people be like, hell nah, you know what I'm saying? But they don't, I'm in the comedy like you are, so that type of shit won't even get in my feelings or nothing, you know what I'm saying? And we end the world hunger.
No? Is that the word? Which?
The N-word.
Nigger. You're talking about nigger?
That's my guy. That's my guy. Every morning.
Is that what you're talking about? How does that...
Yes.
But how...
Yo, he just doubly cured world hunger. W this guy.
How would saying a racial slur bring about peace to the world?
It's a hypothetical, that's why.
Well, he didn't end world hunger, but he just made the host fucking, die inside and just... hilarious.
Hypothetically speaking, I think this plan is failing. If it actually ended world hunger, hip-hop would have solved it by now.
I would have solved it in traffic by now, too.
Hey!
How do you feel about that word?
These guys rule.
I mean, it's just not a good word. I don't know.
I agree, but I mean,
I don't say it, so I don't know. I wouldn't say it. I think it's a bad word, obviously.
Would you say it in front of your black friends to end world hunger?
To end world hunger, yes.
Well, of course, to make them laugh, too. Oh, my God. It's like... You can definitely see the people who actually get it and those people that just live consistently on the internet. Like anybody wearing a Grateful Dead t-shirt in 2023, probably born from some absolute fucking wastes of space.
I respect that, yeah. I respect the balls, that it takes to do that.
Yeah,
I would be fine
or
being
labia in
hated
this
if I
case.
get to help people.
Yeah,
that's an admirable thing to say. I appreciate that. I respect that a lot.
I mean, how could one argue against bringing an end to world hunger?
It hurts a couple people's feelings.
Not if they can eat.
Not their feelings, but like, white women, they get really offended by the N-word.
I guess people get offended on other people's behalf all the time.
Yeah, but we have to respect their feelings, right?
No.
So that not end world hunger, so that they don't get their feelings hurt.
Man, fuck
I
them.
think people starving to death is a little bit more of a priority than people having hurt feelings.
Hey guys, it's Nate with the tight t-shirt. If you guys like this content, make sure to like the video, comment.
I got t-shirts that are tighter than that. That's interesting. That's even a conversation. It's just shows how bitched up this world is. Every once in a while, you have to take a step back and realize that the average person out there is just so scared of words, even more than actions. It's almost shocking. Almost shocking every once in a while. But I think it's about that time where we hit our main event of the evening. Kind of one of those things where we eventually got to it, but we got to it nonetheless. I think this will be pretty interesting, okay? Or do you guys want to go back to the second part of the It's Complicated masculinity one? Because we can go back. It's just, I kind of thought that they were retreading things. It's been a while. It's been long enough. I've seen a new cycle of people come through the chat and all that stuff. So do you guys want the continuation from that? Or do you guys want to hear this panel? Because eventually at some point in time we'll be going through this panel anyways. Okay, so the choice is yours for a second. We are anything if not interactive. I butchered that. Listening to too many stupid people that were interviewed by Fleckus Talks. It's contagious. The idiocy is contagious. So yeah. All right. Wait for it to catch up in the chat. Shout out to you guys, man. This is fucking fantastic. I have so much fun. I have so much fun on these Saturdays. Hopefully you guys do as well. Okay. Ed's down for the panel, and Ed's word is bond. Okay, so. Yeah, Rookie's down for the panel, so. We are going to do that. Maybe at a later date, okay? Whenever a new Manosphere talking point comes along, we'll probably be talking. And Brian's down for it. And Brian's been a real G. Yo, bro. You were the first. Yeah, you were definitely at the first stream as well. So if I'm gonna be handing out, yeah, panel. It looks like it's just overwhelming. We're gonna go with the panel on this one, but yeah.
Thank you for tuning in for Middle Ground, which is all about disagreeing and having a dialogue. That's right. Make sure you stick around to the end because we want to discuss more about
buck and a quarter on this one because there's going to be a lot of additional context.
You said that women are misguided. We are not misguided. We do not need you to shepherd us.
How's it going?
All right, what do we got?
Hello.
Yo, huge hoops.
I would. Yes, an intersectional feminist.
Oh, boo! She's gonna be the worst.
Marxism?
To me, feminism is fairness.
I think that it's unfortunately misguided.
Feminism is a flawed movement.
When you hear the phrase men's rights, what comes to mind?
Just a bunch of complainers.
Aggression.
Advocating for the
aggression. Interesting. She's gonna be spicy. She's gonna be the worst one. She is going to be the worst one.
Human rights of man as a class.
I start laughing.
What do you hope to get?
I hear men's rights and I just start laughing. Oh God, this is gonna be fun.
I would hope to get some insight and probably, if anything, agree on a lot more than disagreeing.
I actually hope to get a little bit more understanding of why some men think this way.
Do you think there's a middle ground between men's rights activists and feminism?
We'll see.
Ooh, I'm trying to think because yeah, I generally understand both sides of the argument. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Feminists and men's activists together to see if they can find common ground. All right. Now you get the awkward.
Hi, my name is Zach, and I am 24 years old.
This is Chris. I'm a PhD student at the University of Southern California, and I'm also a Title IX specialist who challenges discrimination against men on college campuses. And I'm 30 years old.
Hi, I'm Derek. I also go by Brandio. I'm a YouTuber, and I'm also known as an incel, which is an involuntarily celibate.
Hi, my name is Alicia. I am a...
Oh my God, do you know why he's an incel? Just look at the fucking kid. Oh my God.
Writer, poet, and teaching artist.
Hi, I currently work in the pet health industry, and I'm 30.
I'm 24.
She's picking out cats that she's going to adopt in the future.
I'm a graduate student with a degree in health sciences, and I'm excited to be here today.
Is anybody shocked by that?
Men's rights activists in the left and my feminists on the right.
Okay, they are doing the questions. Okay.
If you step forward, if this statement is true for you.
All right.
I believe men and women are different, but equal.
Yeah, 1,000%. That's kind of the premise of the entire Manosphere in general. So yeah, no, different but equal. Yes, better together than apart, complementary, whatever the fuck you want to say. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, would you just want one combatant to show up? Okay.
That I don't have the same physical strengths. Men and women are built differently. I think whenever things are built differently, it's for a reason, right? But at the same time, the amount of limits that have been put on women historically, like the fact that not too long ago we were just allowed to like start voting, even to.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking tired of all that shit. You know, oh my god, I just got the right to vote. No, you got overcompensated because you never had to sign up for selective service, which is a big fucking deal. And even guys, oh my god, guys, we just recently also got the right to vote. Cause did you know, in order to vote, you used to have skin in the game. You used to be a landowner in order to vote. I would rather us move back to that state, but we don't. Everybody has universal suffrage at this point in time, so it's a moot fucking point. But feminists never understand that. They just think that the world began in about 1858 with the Seneca Falls Convention, but she probably doesn't even know that. She just thinks that women's rights are human rights and all that other fucking dumb shit.
Today, like the wage gap, just all types of.
Oh, and she says the wage gap. This is gonna be great.
Stuff like women just don't have a lot of rights that are just. It should have nothing to do with what gender we are.
Okay, cool. Voting, you have voting. Okay, the wage gap is not only a myth, but it's also just completely not a rights issue. But then you say that women don't have a lot of rights. Which ones are you missing? Which ones are you missing?
To be able to be paid equally, or
that's
just
retarded. Okay, so this came out 3 years ago.
I do believe that, of course, there are biological differences between men and women, and of course, there should also be legal equality. Of course, I disagree with the idea that women face systemic discrimination. You just mentioned the wage gap, which has been debunked so many times.
Yeah, and there are some avenues, especially at Google, I think it gets the biggest spotlight, where women in the same place and with the exact same metrics as their male coworkers actually get paid more. That's fine. You don't hear guys bitching and whining and complaining about that. Or I can pull out an old Jordan Peterson argument. Well, if you're looking for equality, how about we level out the amount of bricklayers and waste disposal technicians that are overwhelmingly men? Men do the more dangerous jobs. When do you want that type of equality?
I've studied evolutionary biology quite a bit. And men and women are very different from not just
cut your hair and lose some weight.
The physical, the bone structure, the neurological department as well as the chemical balances. And also, I don't believe that men and women are equal under the law either, or they should be rather. Children are not equal under the law. And it's not because we hate children, it's because we love them and we want to protect them.
You can just see by the body language that these women just inherently detest this kid. Mostly because he's not looking at anybody in the eye when he's delivering his message. He's just kind of awkward. Like, okay, if he takes pride in being an incel, I guess that's something that you can do, but there are just so many little things. Like he's the perfect little project that's over there. It's just, if he blames his misfallings on anybody else, that's going to be a big problem. But so far he's kind of sort of straight on the facts.
So if you believe we're not equal, then that you're inferring that one would be greater than the other.
Well, yeah, because you take a look at just equal convictions, okay? Just take a look under the law. Men serve 66% longer sentences for the exact same crime that it's committed. Women get, lighter sentencing, even if they do end up getting sentenced to begin with. There's just so many other legal distinctions that are down there. Like, okay, who's overwhelmingly in prison? Who's more likely to get early release? Like, yeah, there's differences that's there. And then, of course, societal ones that you can't really quantify, but are true. But of course, the feminists will just say, well, just show me the study. And then if you show them the study, well, I've seen different studies. It's just disingenuous argumentation.
Let me
so that's why I'm
with my perspective. As far as not being equal, I don't think that necessarily means inferior or superior when it comes to certain things.
Yeah, that's why I don't really terribly like the framing, or at least the way that Myron on Fresh and Fit asks the question, are men and women equal? And it's like, okay, we know that you're just trying to walk them down a path specifically, but are they? I can't quite think of the term that would be better used, but equal has so many evil it has connotations, especially for the audience that he's cultivating at that same time. Like the women are just automatically going to go, well, of course we're equal because blah blah blah. But it's like, yes, men and women are complementary, but there's probably a better word than just simply equal.
Like roles like childbearing. A woman is going to be far more productive and a lot more nurturing than, say, a man. And when it comes to doing a lot more of the heavy lifting and the work, a man is probably going to be more suited for that role. And I don't think that that makes them any better or worse. We are just built, created, and born different.
I would also like to elaborate. I am not saying that they are worse overall or better overall.
They complement each other.
Like he said, yeah, they do.
They complement each other beautifully.
They work very well together.
We need each other for
offspring.
I mean, that's part of the beauty of it. And I think trying to equalize them and make them the same and, you know, transition and all that, I don't believe is going to be the most conducive when it comes to raising children, but also just for overall well-being.
I want to note that you brought up children being unequal to adults. I just hope you weren't comparing women to children.
Oh my God, what are we, literally cars? It's a fucking analogy. It's the sign of a lower IQ individual to not be able to engage in metaphor, simile, and analogy.
I mean, it was technically a comparison of women and children.
I don't need you to protect me. I just need you not to harm me.
See how but yeah, no, you can just see women are so... they're so much better at social calibration when it comes to just a group setting. Like, you can see those three girls immediately size up, you know, the weaker deer on the other side that are over there, and they know exactly that they can hone in on this guy. He's immediately made himself a target by just dressing like a schlub. It's plain and fucking simple, man. It's not, I'm not being evil and I'm not being mean against him specifically. It's just, there are things that you can do in your life so you are not just a walking target or sitting or slouching. In this case,
I can protect myself. I'm very...
Can you? Hand to hand, okay? If, you know, little Tommy Tugger over there decides to, you know, just hop off that stool, could you really defend yourself? I'm just wondering, not saying that he should, and not said that he would, but he also might get winded before you do. But if he had a screw loose, he could probably put his hand through your head before you could do anything about it.
Capable of doing what I need to do. Okay?
Okay, sure.
100%.
Just shut up. We don't need the cunty crap.
I am an incel, or an incel advocate, I suppose. I don't hate women at all. I think we're different, and they have aspects that are superior to men as well. It's just very contextual on the subject.
Yeah, okay.
Masculinity is real.
Nope. There are toxic people. Masculinity is amoral. Of course they would. Big shock.
I think that toxic masculinity is definitely a real thing. It's kind of just...
Oh, just shut up. You just need to get a good fucking in. I think we're over 2 hours. Are we over 2 hours? I don't fucking care.
A lot of the times saying that violence, sex, power, being a controlling person makes you a man. I see it in very...
Yo, she's the most controlling. What did she just do to our little friend in the hoodie over there? That was intensely controlling. Is she toxically masculine? Is she just really trying to manifest a little peen?
Fortunate places, like when the young men or boys in my family, even from like toddler age, are told you shouldn't be crying. Boys don't cry. And what that turns into, I see it when I'm in a bookstore and a guy who tries to get my number says, why y'all always gotta act like that? And he sincerely had this like cracking voice, like he was hurt, but it was an entitlement. And that's toxic.
Yeah, it's because guys are, and I think Meme pointed it out in the Rumble channel earlier, men are raised as defective women. Once again, shout out to Rolo. Literally, the guy is an author, is a fucking genius, okay? But yeah, no, men are raised as defective women because, okay, when a guy feels a certain way, we don't emote our emotions the same way that women do, but when they see that, oh my god, that should really upset him and he's not expressing his emotions, he's emotionally stunted. We are fucking different, but you don't understand that. You just see the world through your purview, and that's it. You've never had to develop a level 2 to any of your thinking.
Toxic masculinity, it's saying like, you don't realize how your behavior is harmful.
What does toxic masculinity mean? Is it character traits? Is it upbringing?
The suppression of feeling for a lot of men, because throughout childhood, they're told...
See, the female way is the correct way.
Man up. So because of that, there's a lot of repression. Repression then is usually channeled into anger for some people because they don't not always...
Men immediately default to anger. Women immediately default to being scared. Is that kind of the same? Because, yeah, throughout history, okay, because for the feminists, the world existed before the advent of the suffragette terrorists, okay? But women, because you are the fairer sex, had to develop different communication tactics in order to get your desired outcome, okay? You had to be more subversive with your language. Therefore, yeah, that led to your better social calibration later in life and throughout all of history. Men, if there was a conflict that would arise, well, guess what? There would be just hits like that in order to solve our problems. We've refined ourselves a little bit, but whenever a man engages with another man in a conversation, it can get heated, but it never elevates above a certain level because there's that threat of physicality. Sometimes it does broach that, but that is a exclusively male domain, and the only way that a woman would feel a certain way when it comes to aggression, well, she knows that it's enforced by other simps that are going to be around her, the state, and other factors that make it socially uncomfortable for a man to engage with a woman if she wants to take it to a certain level. The best you can do is protect yourself and restrain the woman, but if she just decides to go, help, I'm being hurt, there will be how many different simps that show up. There are how many different social experiments that have been captured on video that shows, okay, if a guy's being aggressive, okay, just leaning in and starting to raise his voice when it comes to a woman, how many people are going to come to the woman's aid in that situation? But if a chick's throwing hands at a boyfriend and she's getting rowdy, nobody's coming to that guy's aid at all whatsoever. It's different. It's different. That's the way that the game is.
Always know how to express because they're told not to express.
So upbringing and
that's part of it.
Okay,
yes.
But not something that's inherently part of men. Okay.
No.
I think that when you're showing your emotions, especially to random people, random women in some cases, they will view you as weak. I was raised by a single mother. I love her.
We can tell.
She's my mom. I love her. But I could have used being told to act like a man. I think back, there were some cases where I was too emotional, and that negatively affected how I, what happened to me.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
What is your definition of weak as a man?
Emotionally fragile. How about that? Weak as a man. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that pretty much encapsulates it, but then also just not living up to his masculine burden of performance. Somebody who doesn't turn up every day, somebody who just gives in to their basal emotions. How about all of that stuff? But no, it's somebody who doesn't express their emotions, somebody who's not in touch with their feelings.
Not being as forward as you could be, not being as honest, or trying to be not as emotional as you don't need to be. You don't have to cry over a cut. I know, sometimes cuts hurt a lot, but sometimes it's necessary to be strong for the benefit of not just yourself, but for the people around you. It's fine to act emotional in certain cases.
I know that this is kind of goofily edited, but yo, man, they just they have a base level of detestation for this kid. I almost feel bad for him, but
I don't think it's fine to act that way with a woman. Maybe you have a really good friend and he sees you cry, he's your best friend, and you're crying about something really personal. I think that's fine.
I feel like you're conflating two different situations because you started off with saying random person or even women. So it feels like, okay, this is a woman that you don't have a bond with or any type of relationship with. And then you mentioned, or in front of your best friend, that's okay to cry. Well, that woman could be your best friend. That, so.
I don't think you're friends with a woman, so.
Because you don't see us as equal, as you said before.
I don't think showing emotions is a sign of weakness. I actually think it's a sign of strength. Men do live shorter lives, and that's because of a repression of emotions, and that's due to many things that patriarchy has instilled. It has been shown that a person's well-being, their lifespan is shortened when they are not able to express their emotions. In addition, when they don't have physical touch or when they don't have a partner to keep them company. We are human beings here. We need to talk to each other. And if you think that our health isn't affected when you're not able to express that you are sad or upset, you're wrong.
Yeah, I know that all of those studies have actually, they're all just kind of made up at different levels, but yo, man, what was I going to stop it on? All right, yeah, he said, oh, yeah, men and women can't be friends and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, no, there's a general level of, he wants to fuck her, she wants to either exploit him for resources and, all that fucking jazz on top of it. And it's like, yeah, no, that's well kind of figured out. There's different experiments that you can run there as well that are easily replicatable. But yeah, again, it's the feminine correct way to view the world. Is the correct way. If a man wants to live his life, hey man, you don't need to break down and cry, it's even a broken bone or anything like that. Like, fuck's sakes, man. I can tell you, okay, I don't know if I've told the story or anything like that, but I guess a little exclusive for all y'all that are hanging out this evening. So yeah, I remember the last time that I cried in front of a woman, okay? It was my mom, okay? I was going through a particularly rough time at one of the jobs, I think I was working at a steel place for a second. It was a fucking atrocious job, and I was just completely lost. I had no fucking idea what to do, and yeah, I got tears in my eyes, I guess. Walk up to her, and then I just get this look back, and nothing against my mom. I love my mom to death, and she just looks at me and goes, "Now what?" And then I'm like, "Oh, okay, you don't cry anymore. That's the way that it is. You just, you fucking deal with it." And it's like, men are expected to provide, okay? Men are expected to provide stability, okay? And by showing that there is a break in emotions, by showing that there is, you cannot be that emotional rock that a woman's, you cannot be that rock that a woman's emotional waves will crash into. You're practically useless, okay? And she didn't say any of that stuff. I just intrinsically knew. It's like, okay, you just sack up. I've only ever seen my father cry once. I think once. And that's a story that is not safe for air. Something that's, unfortunately not going to be told, okay, for very sensitive familial reasons. But yeah, no, it was a very, it was an appropriate time. It was an appropriate time. And yeah, no, that's just, that's the fucking way it is, and you just move forward because of that. And yeah, I don't think any worse of anybody that's out there who, you know, just is more in touch with their emotions, or, you know, it's funny to joke if somebody, you know, just cries at a movie or a television show. I have a deep emotional attachment to just, you know, my favorite anime character who just died. It's like, yeah, you're kind of a bitch, but, you know, people process their emotions differently. Just because that happens there, it doesn't mean that should be the, and again, using the term should, but using that as the blueprint, okay, for men in general, when you can also take a look at the studies there, but we'll just discount those. The men and women process emotions completely differently. Back to that, enough tangent off to the side.
I think that men's rights activists are only men's rights activists as a response to women expressing that they want more equality. I don't think they...
Yeah, of course, men can't have independent thought. It's just, it's always the mirror reflection of feminism.
Focus on actual men's rights issues, and rather it's just an attack on women and feminism.
Today, women have more advantages than men.
I can speak from a hiring standpoint when it comes to things like affirmative action, and there are certain roles that traditionally men and women have been able to serve in, and now women can basically do all of those things, right? Because we've had such a strong advocacy for equal representation in the workplace.
And then also lowered standards if there are any physical limitations. Like, this video came out 3 years ago, so maybe some of those standards were still at the same level, but there were exceptions given all the time as well. But just take a look at the military. Fuck, even firefighters in the UK, if a female comes across and she can't pass the physical component to that test, that's fine. You can still be a firefighter. Regardless, you know, you want somebody who's not physically capable to run into a burning building and retrieve your ass, even though she can't pick you up. I guess she can comfort you. She can cry with you while the fucking place is burning down around you. Because she's not going to be driving the fire engine.
For example, you know, you'll never find a man as a midwife nurse, and I don't think it's appropriate. That's why there are those differences.
Women in like the most important parts of society have an advantage. There's a lot of positions that men simply aren't getting hired at anymore because of, you know, the fact that they're a man. And it's not just in the workforce. It's also, I would say, you know, it's a lot easier for a woman to find a relationship, even if she, you know, says finding the right guy is so hard. It really isn't. But sometimes for a lot of guys, finding a girl at all is hard.
If I have to consider what I wear before stepping out the house because I don't want to draw some type of attention, I don't know how many...
I don't want to have to take personal responsibility for my choices that are out there, so that's everybody else's problems.
Other men have to consider, is this outfit going to be deemed safe for me? Any situation that I have experienced where, like, I physically felt endangered simply because I don't want to give my number out. It's part of that entitlement for men. You're not entitled a conversation with me. You're not entitled to my...
Violent crimes are committed how much, at what greater rate against men than they are against women? Interesting. But no, I don't feel safe going outside. Bitch, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't feel safe going outside.
That aside, it's like, are you going to make one example of the entitlement of men when it comes to asking for your number be the all-encompassing thing that all men have a problem when it comes to approaching women?
Well, firstly, it's not just an example. It's not necessarily all men. I don't dislike men. I love sports. I play video games. I have bros. I hang out with dudes.
That's what guys are, okay? They're just doofy dudes that play around with the sports ball, or they're just dorks that hang around in the basement. I know guys too. That's interesting. If I just boiled down femininity to this simply, yeah, I like girls who wear makeup and dresses are nice. It's like it's very reductive. Interesting, very, very interesting way that because she has a general level of detestation for men that are there, and you got the big Asian guy who's got some level of masculinity to him, and the rest of the guys they kind of got their talking points, and the European cat on the end is fairly quiet, and it's interesting. It's very interesting.
I want men to realize that if you have friends that are having locker room talk, as a man, as an ally, please say something to your friends.
No, that shit's funny as fuck. But don't worry, I would not grab you by the pussy.
Do you think repressing that is really the solution here, though? If it's in a healthy male space...
I don't think that's healthy. I think it's toxic.
This is why gatekeeping needs to happen at every fucking level.
I mean, if you're making jokes and you're doing all of that...
Jokes that are harmful jokes are not healthy because they just lead to people
If a joke is told in a locker room and nobody is around to hear it, is it a harmful joke? Apparently, to a feminist. And that's why they will all die alone. And I will not shed a single fucking tear. Because that shit gay.
Normalizing things. People always say, oh, it's just a joke. But when someone else hears it, they don't realize how that resonates. And again, how that turns...
Bitch, safe male spaces. Fucking retarded.
Into violence.
We're over 2 hours.
Like,
now we
this
can
is
get
not an isolated situation.
Wild.
I'm only thinking of 3 off the top of my head because if I think of too many, I'm going to spiral
so
right now.
What's the alternative?
Yeah, of course. Okay, cool. So women are more socially in tune with themselves. But if I think of 3 different scenarios, I'm just going to absolutely melt down. Cool. You want the future to reflect that sort of disposition. How fucking great.
Men shouldn't talk about these things.
No, I think men can have a healthy dialogue. I don't think men...
Oh shit, but weren't they also talking about a healthy expression of their emotions? I certainly hope big Tommy Chan right there just fucking drills him on that point.
And have to be toxic in order to have a conversation. I know plenty of men that are able to have conversations about healthy, productive things, just like women are.
Well, it's not obviously something that I have
just
personal
like
experience
women
with,
are.
but only 1% of all people on the death row are women in this country. So when women and men commit identical crimes, women are much more likely to, for example, escape the death penalty. And that's just
there we go.
Plain sex-based discrimination.
Yes.
That I agree on.
That's true. Look, I'm thinking about basic needs, like around the globe, the women who don't even have like proper like sanitary like products.
Are probably the same group of people that, hey, whenever the guy gets to be of certain age, he gets thrown into the back of an Isuzu pickup truck, handed an assault rifle and a 1995 Bills championship t-shirt. So let's keep it a buck. It's not exactly pristine conditions for the guys.
I mean, I have to agree. Just small things like a tax on a box of tampons. Do you think I choose to do this?
I don't know, just fucking shove a roll of toilet paper in that fucking leaky mess.
Monthly. No, trust me. So why should I have to pay taxes when this is a medical necessity?
We're just like dismissed. A lot of our symptoms, a lot of the things we report is...
Why do I have to buy a razor if I don't want to have a beard? God damn it.
Especially women of color, but women across the board are just...
Oh my God, this is women of color most affected.
I'd say that I'm an advocate for what I believe the role that men play in society. I believe that their views should be expressed openly, that they should be given a platform to do so, and I believed in men unapologetically and unashamedly being men as we were created.
I think in my heart that there are things that men are entitled to. I am all about human rights, and I do consider the rights of every human, but every time I hear of a men's rights activist, I hear anger, and I hear very illogical reasoning. And
I don't hear any anger so far, and I don't hear... But again, I don't hate men, but I just hate what they talk about.
It just boils my blood because it's a setback for all of us.
Setback for, again, the female correct way to view the world, and then also it sets all of us back, but we know that you only take into account the female's perspective on this.
I feel that the other side does not understand my values.
Interesting.
I think a lot of times when a movement is created, the other side thinks that they're being attacked or think that it's some like attempt at erasure. That's not what feminism is about at all. What do you need a whole men's rights activism movement for? I'm sincerely confused.
Well, I mean, like, I will advocate for positive masculinity and what men should represent and healthy outlets for men. Like, I still think the Boy Scouts should be exclusively the Boy Scouts, for example, one of those things. Where I would like to think that we could get some common ground is when it comes to the clear biases that are in the court system, especially in the marriage and family court system.
Yes.
Right? And right there is what I would advocate for when it comes to men's rights.
The things that stand valid, like that.
Yeah, but there's nothing logical about that. 90% of alimony, what's the child support gimmick as well? It's grossly compensated to the woman as opposed to any sort of fairness, quote unquote fairness, that could be attributed to the man's side. Interesting.
I'm hearing from y'all that are like valid to me come from a place of like, I am treated like unfairly by the system versus a lot of the things women are saying. It's also America in the system as well, but a lot of it is like harm from men.
How and where?
Shout out.
Where's this harm from men coming from?
Yeah. Okay, it started when I was young. I'm not going to talk too long. I was 16, got a bottle thrown at me because I told a boy no. It started when I was in a club. A boy.
Okay, a couple of different personal anecdotes. So how is that men are just oppressing you? It sounds like you're in shitty situations. It sounds like poor people are oppressing you. Okay.
Touch me. I said no. He kept touching me. Got to the point he got violent. It gets to the point that the only reason why a man decided to stop touching me in the bookstore I talked about earlier is because
there's probably another man came over and was like, "Bro, stop."
Because he realized my husband was not too far away, and he said, "Sorry, bro."
I feel bad for him.
Never said sorry to me. That's why, and that's off the top of my head. This is why I get upset because I'm like, I'm
So why does that make men's rights bad?
here to talk about like how you.
I'm in my emotions. You can't tell me wrong. A woman's tears are only real in private.
Feel.
Shout out Donovan Sharp.
But when you just dismiss the fact that women actually have experiences, that's when it seems like it's about more than your rights. It seems like it's about your ego.
Fuck your freedoms. Fuck your rights.
That's where I get pissed off. Because how dare you tell another human being that their experiences, what they're telling you right in front of your face, is not valid?
Yeah, but who cares?
I didn't say they were invalid.
See, that's where I would end up getting something thrown at me because that's my, that would be my response. It's like, okay, cool, you had bad things happen to you. Fantastic. How are you going to take responsibility for that shit that happened to you so you make sure that that doesn't happen again? It sounds like there's a lot of abdication of responsibility on the feminist side. Men are all bad. Men can't get in touch with their emotions correctly, and the only reason that you guys have your little group that's over there is because you hate women.
Valid. I said how and why. I'm trying to understand.
How and why? Because it happened. It happened many times. It happened yesterday. It happened the day before.
Okay, I think some of the things that you guys are touching on, such as the court system and gender roles, are a subject of patriarchy, and that's part of what women are trying to dismantle. Is those traditional gender roles.
Are there any feminist organizations that have done anything, for example, to challenge bias against men and fathers in the family court system?
Absolutely.
Can you please give me like a list of feminist advocacy organizations that have engaged in any meaningful advocacy to address those issues? Because they're actually
Where's
none.
Elon Musk when you need him?
I know that you came with your little research or whatever. I didn't come with a list of like feminist organizations.
What an absolute fucking cunt. Hope she dies alone.
But I know actively that there are women's organizations that are trying to dismantle those inequalities.
Just one name.
Just one.
Again, I didn't come with a list, my dude.
My dude, ugh. Just literally, hopefully she gets suffocated by her cat tonight.
There are no such organizations.
In what ways are men's rights at risk?
I think there has been significant progress over the last decade or so, especially in the legal field, but I think there are still significant disparities that need to be addressed, such as poor health conditions, bias against men in the criminal justice system, bias against men in family court.
Yeah, I'm sorry, not 30. I was going to say 3 out of 4, but yeah, 75% of people in prison. Oh, I'm sorry, 75% of people are homeless are men. Prisons disproportionately filled by men. Of course, men commit a vast majority of the violence. So yeah, maybe they deserve to be in prison. That's fine. Okay, higher levels of suicide. Do we want to talk about that stuff? No, just mental health. How well has that push worked out so far? Okay, here, just take all of your happy pills. That works for Sally, so it should work for you, Timmy.
And bias against men in the educational system, especially in colleges.
Men and women should be allies.
Compliments.
Men, unfortunately, many of them don't want to even have this open dialogue that we're sharing right now. We need men to help be allies, to help speak to other men.
It strikes me like the way you phrase this, you almost want men to say certain things that you want them to say, as opposed to maybe actually listening to what they're saying.
That's my guy.
What certain
like
things would I want to
just
hear?
kind of like men being allies, men talking to other men, etc. I'm completely okay with that, but I'm not going to repeat like feminist talking points to other men.
We all believe different things. We may be under the label of men's rights activists, but for example, I'm probably the most traditionalist person here. I think we should be allies, but maybe us being allies in a patriarchy wouldn't be so bad. You know, us going back to the past wouldn't be so bad. It would probably be a lot happier if we were, you know, getting married and staying married and having kids and, you know, going to church and all that blah-de-da-de-da.
While speaking to the three of you, I feel like you're each coming from different perspectives. So it's hard to, you know, again, just like our perspectives, it's hard to generalize. So to me, I feel like there are certain things that, even though we're not fully agreeing on it, things may get lost in translation, our verbiage may not be 100% correct, that we could at least agree on.
Can I ask one question? What would you envision would be the ideal man with the end goal of feminism as far as educating men or working to dismantle whatever patriarchy is? Like, what does that man look like?
It starts with childhood. We have to teach children as well as girls,
how to be better women. There you go. There you go. We just need to teach everybody the exact same stuff because they're all just blank slates. Oh my God.
We're also taught, because of toxic masculinity, what a man should be as well.
I think that we just need to hold men accountable. In order to kind of make progress, we need help from people that will listen.
Yo, when's the Squid Game interaction and the integration? Sorry, with the the fucking tons of fun on the end.
Because let's be real, when we express our concerns, a lot of men refuse to listen, but they would be more likely.
Yeah, because you're just complaining. You're just complaining.
To listen to another man.
Do you also feel like you have an ethical obligation to challenge other women or other feminist men? For example, they deny that men face discrimination.
When it comes to things like, oh, men can't be abused. I've had this conversation with another woman, and it's the idea that just because a man may be physically stronger than us, does that mean they cannot be abused? And because of that, again, fairness, women need to be held accountable as well.
Yeah, but what do
I
you
want
do
to understand their viewpoint. As a woman and a woman of color,
don't.
I know how.
That's an immediate disqualifier that anything that you're going to say is going to have any sort of validity. Well, as my insert identity politics disclaimer on top of this, okay, I want to learn about this stuff, but you already told us your highest order value, okay? Like, come on.
How it feels to be disenfranchised. So I want to understand why they feel the need to have a men's rights movement.
I feel empathy for the other side.
I don't think there's ever a time in my life where a person says they're hurting and I don't at least try to listen or understand. My only thing is that I want the same in return. So when I'm genuinely saying I'm hurting, or
I only give the equal amount of respect that I'm given first. She must be such a great wife. Wonder if she's still married.
Something, and it's not just a personal experience, because I actively do this work and surround myself with women saying I've been hurt by a man before. I get that you have stories, but I mean, that's actually my question. I haven't heard.
I get that you have stories. I just don't take them seriously.
Y'all stories. Like, I've sat up here and said I have 3 on the top of my head. I have about 30.
Who the fuck cares? Move on. Fucking nobody cares, bitch. Just fucking spool your shit and fuck off.
E+ probably. And I haven't heard y'all say this is what happened to me.
I don't think that I'll ever invalidate.
Yeah, it's almost like they have principles that they're trying to forward. They have issues that are just greater than their own personal grievances. Fucking wild concept, stupid.
A woman's feelings when she says, "Hey, I've been abused" or whatnot. I don't think any of us here are rightfully saying that.
Yeah, shit sucks. There's fucking laws that are taking care of that.
What's dangerous is when emotional testimony that may not always be what it is gets creates bias, right?
Okay, I feel empathy for women being lost, being misguided. Look, I don't know.
You could cultivate your ideas better.
Do you have any bit of empathy for anything we said up here?
Yes, I really do feel empathy for women.
Why was that so hard to say? Like, for the stuff that we said, do you have any bit of empathy for the stories I said up here?
Yeah,
I just want to know.
I do. Yes.
Like, I'm not even trying to be hostile. I just genuinely want to know.
Yeah, I just think that a lot of the problems that have happened in your life are because society is not patriarchal. It's not traditional. It's we're gone. We're lost. We're in a fallen state, right?
There is a change of guard. Not necessarily a change of guard, but things are evolving. Things are changing. And I feel like a lot of men.
Things are changing. It's for the better, and there's more women in charge, and now you have more things to complain about. So is it really working?
Speak from a viewpoint almost of fear. A lot of men are having a hard time.
Right, we're all scared about everything that's around us, so that means that you guys are scared, right?
Grasping that and feeling comfortable with it.
I do feel empathy for your personal experience, but I cannot sympathize with their ideological position because that ideological position is built on a fallacy, and that fallacy is actually costing, that's causing very real consequences for men as a class in this country. So I understand that you are here with us as kind of the good feminist, so to speak, that you feel empathy for men, and I believe you, but I do not believe your movement, and I do not believe your ideology.
All right, we'll leave it at that. That's a wrap.
Ooh, that was angry. Oh, that fucking cunt.
Okay.
You are very articulate.
Oh, thank you.
So are you.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Okay.
What a miserable bitch. I hope they all, yeah, I would say, I wonder how they're doing in life, but I already got my fucking answers in there anyway, so. That about does it, folks. Fuck, how many videos did we get through tonight? That was a hell of a lot of fun. Shout out to you guys for that, you know. We got a bunch of different people between the two chats right there. A bunch of people, you know, churning in and out. Really do appreciate everybody for turning out for that. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, I'll probably keep it open until about the top of the hour. Just go through a couple of different things here. Well, everybody, you know, like I said, just fire in a question if you want anything answered or anything like that. But yeah, Ed, you're probably gone by the time that you hear this, but safe travels, my friend, and hopefully everything's great. Nice, yeah. That'll seem nice and troll-free. Yeah, Michael, yeah, if you're still kicking around here, yo, man, we're just all, yeah. I'm just here to shit on a bunch of, you know, stupid fucking feminists, if we're being completely honest. But yeah, man, no, I'm glad that you stumbled across the channel. But as for tomorrow, I do the exclusively Rumble stream. Hopefully you guys can tune out for that. And if not, I understand it's a pretty busy streaming day and might experiment with an earlier time or something like that. Well, we'll think about it. But as of right now, it's still scheduled for 6 o'clock Mountain. So that would be 8 o'clock in the East, 5 o'clock in the West, and then 7 in the Central, if you're so inclined. It's not so much political stuff. It's, I'm thinking of, there's that trans shooter, the trans shooter who shot up the Nashville Christian school. Apparently, the manifesto's at least been leaked out in parts, and mostly because I think I can't make a video that's going to stay up on YouTube. I might just cover that over there tomorrow, depending on how long it is. Now, then there's also a couple of different Razor Fist videos that I want to take a look at. I might do the Lincoln one, or we might do the 3-part series on why Michael Jackson is totally fucking innocent, because there's a lot of good analogies that we can draw to a couple of different high-profile cases that are out there today. I'm kind of leaning towards that one. We might go with that, mostly because, well, like, we can go exclusively on Rumble on that one. And, yeah, he plays some good music, and MJ's the fucking man, okay? So, to clear his name and to just bring awareness to more people that, yeah, MJ was set up. His trials weren't properly covered by mass media. And the fact that the lie still goes out there that he did anything untowards to a child is, quite frankly, fairly disgusting, with the amount of exculpatory evidence that is also out there in regards to his case, as well as many other people that's out there. So yeah, if it was an equal application of the law and it wasn't just so fun as to go, he, MJ's a kid diddler, well, maybe the truth would actually get out there. And that's a fantastic 3-part series. It's in on and around about an hour's long in length. I think it would be a hell of a lot of fun to do, so probably do that one tomorrow exclusively on Rumble, so feel free to tune out on that one. Hopefully I'll have it posted a little bit earlier, so if anybody wants to show up for that one, they definitely can. 6 o'clock that time. So yeah, what else we got tomorrow? I have oh, okay, yeah, god damn it, you know what, yeah, for sure. But no, oh, good stuff. Yeah, no, thanks for stopping by, Mike. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. First proved to me that it was the same guy, but I love MJ's music. Yeah, no, exactly. That's why I want to go through those videos. That'll be there tomorrow. So yeah, we'll probably do that. I think that'll be so much fun. Where they all come to argue about this stuff. Yeah, exactly. Don, did you hear about the Anthony Cumia Bill Burr dust up? No, I didn't hear about that, Brian. What the fuck happened there? Listen, okay, when I first got in on O&A, okay, when it came to revolving third chairs or consistent guests, I was never really that much of a Bill Burr guy. And then when he started to get more popular in common parlance, it's like he's probably the weakest of the comedians that O&A had consistently on their rotation. I would have been happy, well, mostly because, and the big reason why he didn't take off is because the door jambs weren't wide enough, but Bob Kelly, far funnier than him. Rich Voss, inadvertently and expressly, with purpose, way funnier than that. Patrice, God rest his soul, man, like, just taken way too fucking soon. But Nick DiPaolo, now that he's finally getting his flowers from Steven Crowder and finally getting put on there, couldn't be happier. And even still, like, they had Louis C.K. on a bunch of different times as well, and Colin Quinn. Like, Colin Quinn is way funnier than Bill Burr. Bill Burr just had one situation and he parlayed that into for success for whatever reasons, but Dave Chappelle's way better. And, you know, even if you just want to talk about the expanded comedian universe, okay, like, I put Bill Burr, like, I know a lot of people like him and he says some bass stuff, but I put him right close to the bottom of things. But I did not hear about the Cumia stuff. I don't know if you enlightened me here, but yeah, Bill Burr's security physically threw him out of the comedy club. Fucking why? It's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Yeah. Like, yeah, there was always that idea that, yeah, because Bill Burr's wife is black and Anthony Cumia said some mean things back on Twitter about a black lady who assaulted him in Times Square and said that there's a violence problem in the black community, which hasn't been reinforced over the past 3 years. No, of course not. Couldn't have said that back at the time, and he makes funny fucking jokes. Anthony Cumia is the funniest guy to ever consistently sit in front of a microphone day in and day out, and I will hold that probably until my dying days. Nobody comes close to him in that realm, but no, for sure. I think Bill Burr and Chappelle have both gone crazy. I'm staring down at my copies of the Chappelle Show. All of the different ones that are out there. Even the, what the fuck was that, House Party or Block Party DVD that's down there as well. Chappelle Show is the funniest fucking thing. The Tough Crowd was pretty good too, but the Chappelle Show, for at least for most people, the funniest thing that Comedy Central will ever and has ever done, especially with their current trajectory, likely will ever do as well. But yeah, Chappelle, he has a wonky take every once in a while, but he's pretty straight on most of the things. Like, he gets it mostly correct, more so than Bill Burr, 100%. And Bill Burr tries to walk that line of Hollywood like he finally got put on. He's been in a bunch of different films. Like, yeah, he's in that Mandalorian show where it's like, oh, congratulations. I don't know if that's a boon or a bust on your credits, but he's on there. So yeah, yeah, I didn't hear about that. I'll have to do some extracurricular research on the Cumia situation, because hey, man, as much as I think that Compound Media hasn't evolved past its first little round of people that it had on there, I still like Cumia. He's talent. He's an entrepreneur, not an entrepreneur. He's not somebody who has the proclivity to be running any sort of a business, but if you stick him in a certain spot, he's going to perform well above his station. That's one of the biggest losses on radio, the fact that he's not consistently doing that, and the fact that Jim and Sam is still on the air for whatever fucking reason. What an abomination. And yeah, I think Bonnie McFarlane said this. She would rather listen to her kid drown in the bathtub than the Jim and Sam show. I concur. Yeah. I like them both before the pandemic. Yeah, but both got weird lately. Yeah, Dave Chappelle better than, yeah, Bill Burr. Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, man, no, that's for True City. Yeah. How do we feel about Dave Landau being a bit... Yeah, exactly. Okay. I don't know. I do not know much about that situation, but what I can opine is that probably Dave ended up signing a contract with the Blaze. It ended up running over. I don't know about that. I legitimately have no idea about that situation, but he's starting another show with Quarter Bitch Garrett. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I mispronounce that? Yeah, no, I totally meant exactly what I said. Quarter Black Garrett is one of the biggest snakes that's out there, and I think that's going to prove itself to be very, very true very, very shortly. I just think that it's one of those situations, and Dave Landau homie hopping after he got put on by Cumia over to Crowder and then ends up getting a spin-off of his own show that's out there. It might be great. It might be fantastic. They're both blue-pilled simps in their own fucking pod that's going to be over there. It's a show on the Blaze. I'm probably not going to watch it, even though it's going to have a bunch of different people that I think are funny in doses on YouTube, but... even still, okay, I just think that Crowder, like I said, I don't know anything about the situation, but Crowder outworks a lot of people online. Now, he's also just as scummy when it comes to just ripping away Kumiya content, so I do hold a little bit of a side eye when it comes to that, but when it comes to consistently putting out stuff, high quality stuff, I think Crowder is probably the best one out there doing it right now. And those guys couldn't keep up with the hectic schedule, and Crowder only wants to run with people who are also going to keep on that trajectory. So the fact that they couldn't get along means that they had to be left behind, and now they're just bitching, whining, and complaining because, oh, I've got kids and shit, and oh, I want to live in Michigan. They're fucking soft. That's what I think. That's what I think, though. Okay. Now even Matt Walsh has been canceled from YouTube. Yeah, that's going to be a motherfucker for him with that Daily Wire contract. He's been fully demonetized, so that's... What did Crowder say? 25% against his contract? Holy, that beard is going to become a little bit more bushy as we're going to have to start rationing razors. Yeesh. Yes, so honestly, upset he whined like that. Apparently signed with Quarter Black to the Blaze too. Yeah, I kind of thought that, George. That's kind of what I was thinking. It's like, okay, they all would have had to sign contracts with the Blaze, and maybe there was a rollover clause that's in there. It was just a longer period, but... Yeah, man, it's fucking backroom drama for some people that, yeah, I like Crowder, and then the rest of the crew, like, Crowder's crew fucking sucks. They're just not funny people. Even though there's a couple of different chuckles that I got from their new engineer that's on there, but is that Tim to whatever? They all have fucking gay nicknames. And if Quarter Black Garrett thinks that, you know, oh, okay, he's being so aggrieved by Crowder and he wants to make little bitch side shots, yeah, drop the Quarter Black moniker because you got that from Crowder. But it's just, oh, I'm so offended by that stuff. But yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, I think, yeah, Quarter Black is the reason Elijah Schaefer got the boot from the Blaze, though Elijah is much better off without the Blaze. Yeah, I've watched some of his shows. Elijah's, yeah, slightly offensive since he's been off the Blaze, and yeah, man, he seems to be doing a lot better. He's definitely more popping on Twitter, whatever the fuck that means, okay? And yeah, no, he is definitely better outside of that. I like that for sure. Yeah, YouTube can castrate Big Con just with demonetization. Couple that with predatory contracts that'll put you on, but then it will also keep you on a golden leash. That is 1000% true, but yeah. And Crowder wanted cuts of Landau's comedy show profits, supposedly. Well... Okay, that's interesting because I can see it from the Crowder's perspective on that one. If they're going to be producing and publishing the show, that would only make sense. Okay, like if because they were running Landau and Crowder, they were running comedy shows together, so it would serve that. Yeah, okay, if it's going to be a louder with Crowder production, then yeah, they would get a cut, but don't know the scenarios on that. Like if he's just going out there and he's just simply promoting on the show, you signed him as talent. What he does afterwards, that can either be negotiated or that's just what he does outside of the confines of the show. Either, you know, you don't let him advertise or you guys work something out. Like that could be a negotiated situation, or it just could be somebody, you know, just punching air on the way out of the door. You didn't get put on to the biggest show on Rumble, consistently gets over 150,000 viewers every fucking morning. Like Christ's sakes. Talk about crying, okay? Because, yeah, somebody took your lunch money. It's like, you could have worked something out. But you didn't, because you let Pride was fucking with you. These are two guys, remember, with Landau and with Quarter Black Garrett, who, I don't think with Landau though, but yeah, QBG ended up marrying the first girl who touched his wiener. So, you know, I'm not going to take any of his criticism all that fucking seriously. And then with Landau, you got a recovering addict who is homie hopping, okay, and then just ends up on the skids. So I'm not going to shed a fucking tear. Let's just put it that way. I think Landau's funny-ish. He was funnier on Crowder, mostly because he was getting dwarfed by Kumiya, and he just ended up being a fucking little, you know, a laughing chihuahua at the end. So, no, for sure. Let's just see. We got any other updates that are over there, but no, thanks to you guys for turning out for this one. I think I just on my counter there crossed the 3-hour mark. I always try to aim for about an hour and a half to about 2 hours long, okay? But here we are once again at a shade over 3. So no, shout out to you guys. I'm infinitely happy. I'm always surprised that anybody even bothers turning out for this stuff. I would just do it for fun regardless, but You guys make it all the fun that it is. Shout out to all the new people that turned up in the chat, all of the new names that are there, and then all of the returning ones as well. You guys make this the show that it is. And yeah, without further ado, if I don't see you guys tomorrow, you'll see me in video form. That shit's still going up. I've got a whole bunch of them. I've got all 3 of them that'll be going up tomorrow. And then the stream exclusively on Rumble. And if not, I'll be back on YouTube streaming on Tuesday with some fucking topic. It'll probably be a roundtable or something like that. But with all of that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone, and thank you very much.